Welcome to HOJO Radio. Our next broadcast was based on a comic book character created in 1941. He made his radio debut in 1943 and ran until 1953. Relax, folks, relax for the adventures of Archie Andrews, right here on HOJO Radio.
Hello? Hello, Jughead. This is Archie. Come over right away. It's a matter of life or death. Oh, relax, Archie. Relax.
Yes, and you relax too, folks, if you can, because here he is again, right out of the pages of Archie Comics magazine with all his gang, Archie Andrews! Well, it's Friday evening as we look in on the Andrews home in Riverdale. We find Archie has just come home with Jughead and is a little unhappy about something.
I tell you, Jug, I gotta figure out a way to get that bottle of bubble bath soap. You don't look dirty to me. It's not for me, it's for Veronica. She's having a coming out party tonight, and I gotta buy her a present. What's she coming out of? Jug, I don't know how you can be that stupid and live. It's easy. Jug, Veronica is making her debut in Riverdale Society tonight, and I want to buy that bubble bath soap we saw in the drugstore as a gift. Now, is that plain enough? Go ahead and buy it. I'm not stopping you. But I don't have the money, Jug. Reggie Mantle will probably bring some fancy gift. And how will I look? How? Embarrassed. I might just as well stay home.
Archie. Hello, Jughead.
Hello, Mr. Andrews. Hi, Dad. Oh, Dad, I was wondering...
What a day. Certainly good to be home.
Dad, would you be kind
Archie,
enough to let me...
do you know where my slippers are?
In the hall closet, I think. Dad, I was wondering...
It's going to be good to sit down, have a little peace and quiet.
Dad, I wonder if you'd let me...
What is it?
Dad, could you let me have some money?
No. Now, where's your mother?
But, Dad, I just gotta have $2.98.
Archie, I said no. Where is your mother?
But, Dad, I just gotta have it because I want to buy...
Archie, for pity's sake, I said... All right, here is $3.
Gee whiz, Dad, thanks a lot.
Don't mention it. Keep the change.
Oh, boy, Jug, I got it. Well, let me at that phone. Operator, Riverdale 411, please. Yes. Oh, boy, Jug, won't Veronica be happy when she sees that bubble bath? She likes all that fancy stuff. Hello, Mr. Pringle? This is Archie Andrews. You know that bottle of liquid bubble bath soap you have on display? Yes, the pink stuff in the fancy bottles with the sign, float on air with the scintillating essence of rare odeurs and be carried to dreamy wonderland in your bath, reduced to $2.98. Yes. Well, send a bottle of that right over, would you? Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. Archie, wouldn't it have been cheaper to buy Veronica a piece of soap? Don't be silly, Jug. She'll love this. I guess I'll show that Reggie Mantle that he's not the only one who can buy fancy gifts. Yeah. Gee whiz, Jug. Do you think Reggie will buy her something fancier than that? Probably. Oh, fine.
Hello, Archie. Hello, Jughead.
Hello, Mrs. Andrews. Hi, Mom.
Well, what are you doing, dear?
Nothing.
Archie, what are you so glum about?
Me? I'm not glum.
Archie, do you feel all right?
No, Mom, let's not go through that.
Archie, stick out your tongue.
But, Mom, I feel...
Archie, stick out your tongue.
No, I'm all right. Yeah.
Well, you didn't have to stick it that far out. Uh-huh. Archie, just as I thought. You're run down.
But, Mom, I feel fine.
All the same, you go right upstairs and bring down the tonic.
The tonic? Oh, gosh, Mom, not that.
That tonic is the best thing in the world for you.
Yes, I know, but...
But what?
It smells.
Archie.
Well, it does, Mom, just like rotten eggs.
Archie, Mr. Pringle made that tonic from a special prescription, and it always does a world of good for you.
But, Mom,
Jughead, doesn't your mother make you take tonic when you're run down?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, doesn't it do you a world of good?
No, ma'am.
It doesn't? Why not?
I give it to my little sister when Mom's not looking.
Jughead, you don't.
Don't I?
All right, Jughead, maybe you do. But, Archie, you still march right upstairs and bring that tonic down.
Oh, gee whiz, what chances a fella got? Jug, you wait there.
Okay. And, Jughead, would you take your feet off the couch, please?
I'm sorry.
Oh, now who can that be? Hello? Oh, Mrs. Lodge. How are you? Oh, fine, thanks. Have I forgotten what? The party? What part? Oh, the party. Why, no, Mrs. Lodge. Of course I haven't forgotten the party. Why, I couldn't forget your party tonight. Of course not. Why, just today I remarked to Fred how I was looking forward to your party. Yes, we'll be there. Goodbye. Oh, dear, I'd forgotten all about that party.
Oh, Mom, I can't find that tonic anywhere.
But, Archie, I know there's practically a full bottle in the medicine cabinet. Did you look there?
Oh, yes, Mom.
Well, did you look in the storage closet?
Gee whiz, Mom, don't you think I know how to look for something?
Not for tonic, you don't. Are you sure it's upstairs?
Positive that it's not there, Mom, and besides, I feel much better now. Mom, let's forget the whole thing.
Oh, no, you don't. I'll order some more right now. Operator, give me Riverdale 411, please.
But, Mom, why go to all that trouble just for a little
Archie,
time?
you need that tonic.
Yeah, like a headache.
Hello? Mr. Pringle, this is Mrs. Andrews. Uh-huh. You know that tonic you made up last spring for Archie? Uh-huh. Well, would you make up another bottle and send it over right away? All right, Mr. Pringle. Thanks a lot. Bye. Now, Archie, oh, dear, now what?
Pringle's drugstore.
Already?
Got a package here for Betty Cooper.
Oh, well, they live next door.
I know, but they're not home, and they left a note saying all packages should be left here.
Oh, all right. Just put it right there on the hall table where I won't forget it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Now, Archie, you better start dressing, dear.
Dressing?
Yes, dear, for the party.
But can't I go the way I am?
Archie, you can't go to a party in a polo shirt and saddle shoes.
You left out my pants, Mom. I'm wearing pants, you know.
Yes, I know, dear. But you better go put on your tropical worsteds.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait there, Jug. I'll be right down.
And wash first.
Okay, I will.
All right. Now, what's all the shouting about? Can't we ever have any quiet around here?
Fred, when did you get home, dear?
Oh, about 5 minutes ago, Mary, and I'm
Well, for
certainly
pity's
as
sake,
tired
go
as
and
I-
get dressed.
Dressed? What for?
The Lodges are having their party tonight.
Oh, good grief. I'm in no mood for parties tonight, Mary. I want to just sit here and read my paper.
Fred, Mrs. Lodge called specially to remind us about it.
But Oh, all right. I suppose we have to go.
We certainly do. Jughead, be careful of that lamp. I'll be upstairs if you want me, Fred.
All right, Mary. You'll be upstairs. Parties. Why don't people leave people alone? Nobody enjoys giving a party. Nobody enjoys going to a party. I don't know why. What are you grinning at?
I'm not invited to the party.
Well, you're lucky. See, do I need a shave? I suppose so. No, I'm all out of hairdressing. You better order some. Operator, 411, please. Hello, Pringle. Fred Andrews. What? Tired. How are you? Good. Listen, Pringle, send me a bottle of that hairdressing, will you? And don't send me that greasy stuff you sent last time. All right, right away. Mm-hmm. Bye.
Fred, aren't you dressed yet?
Dressed? Why, Mary, it's only 5 seconds.
Well, stop
Did you let
wasting
me-
time and get started.
All
dear.
right, Mary. I don't know what this world is coming to when a man can't even go home anymore.
Oh, that must be the tonic for Archie.
Package from Pringle's drugstore.
Yes, I've been waiting for it. Tell Mr. Pringle to put it on the bill, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Jughead, I wish you wouldn't sit on the arm of that chair.
I'm sorry.
Archie!
Yes, Mom?
Come on down here.
Gee whiz, Mom, how can I get dressed if you keep calling me?
Archie, your tonic just arrived. I want you to take it, dear.
The tonic? Now?
Yes, now. Jughead, would you get a spoon out of the kitchen, please?
Yes, Mrs. Andrews.
But, Mom, this is no time to take tonic.
And why not?
Well, because... Well, there's a time and place for everything, and, well, this just isn't the time and place.
It certainly is.
But, Mom, you have no idea how much better I feel.
I thought you didn't feel sick in the first place.
I didn't, but I'm much better now.
Here's the spoon, Mrs. Andrews.
Benedict Arnold.
Me? What did I do?
Traitor.
Now, Archie, that's quite enough. Now, just this one spoonful won't kill you.
You never can tell. Those are awful big spoons.
Archie, for pity's sake, I don't have time to argue now. Please take this tonic.
Gee whiz, okay. Gee whiz. Gee whiz, Ma. Do I... Gee whiz. But I... Gee whiz. If I only... Gee whiz.
Yes, Archie, gee whiz. Now take it.
In cold blood? Just take it? Just like that?
Well, close your eyes if it'll help.
It'll help more if you close your mouth, too.
Jughead.
I'm sorry.
Gee whiz.
Archie, don't say that again.
Well, gee... Gosh.
Archie, I'm getting impatient.
Well, I'm gonna. Let me take it myself.
Very well. Here.
Okay, Mom. I might as well get it over and done with. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Phew. Gee, that wasn't as bad as I thought.
Well, I told you so.
Mary, do you like this bow tie with this suit?
Oh, yes, dear. Now come upstairs, Archie, and put a clean shirt on.
Yes, dear. Fine thing when a man can't even ask his own wife if she likes his tie without her giving him an... Well, what are you grinning at?
I was just thinking of my father's ties.
What about your father's ties? Does he tie them differently than I do?
Yes. He just snaps his on.
Oh, fine. Now, what in the world is keeping that delivery boy? Why, that druggist is the slowest... Oh, what's this on the hall table? Label says Pringle's Drugstore. When did that get here?
Oh, that will...
Now, why doesn't anybody tell me these things? Here I've been waiting and waiting for my hairdressing, and it's been here all the while.
But, Mr. Andrews... Gee whiz.
Say, Jughead, do you like this tie with this suit?
No.
Me too. But I can't decide whether I don't like the suit with the tie or the tie with the suit. Now, who can that be at a time like this?
Pringle Drugstore.
Oh, boy, my bubble bath.
What?
No, not for me. For a friend of mine. I'll take it. Here you are.
Thank you.
Gee whiz, I almost forgot about this.
Well, open it and let's see it.
Okay, don't rush me. Gee whiz, now who can that be?
Hello, Archie. How are you all?
Veronica. Gosh, hiya, Veronica. Come on in, Veronica. Jug, it's Veronica.
Yes, I could tell. Hi, Veronica.
Hello, Jug. Archie, I just dropped by to remind you about my party tonight. I'm very anxious for you to be there, Archie. In fact, I might say I'm looking forward to dancing with you. You will be there, won't you, Archie? Archie?
Uh-huh. Oh, sure, Veronica. I'll be there. I haven't forgotten at all. In fact, I bought you a little remembrance for the occasion.
Oh, did you, Archie? Is that it, that package?
Well, yes, but I was going to give it to you later.
Oh, what is it, Archie? Tell me, Archie, please.
Well, I wanted it to be a surprise, Veronica, but since you put it that way, I suppose you might as well know now.
Oh, yes, I can't stand the suspense.
Well, it's, well, that is, well, it's bubble bath. Jug, be quiet. Here, Veronica.
Oh, Archie, for me? How sweet. Thank you.
Gee whiz.
I'll go home and use it right now. Thanks ever so much, Archie. Bye, Jug.
So long.
Gee, she kissed me.
Yeah, and snap out of it.
Gee whiz, what a girl.
Oh, brother.
And did you hear what she said, Jug? Did you hear?
What?
She's gonna take a bath.
Archie, people do that all the time.
Well, yeah, Jug, but not with my bubble bath. Gee, I can hardly wait to see how Veronica smells tonight.
Oh, fine.
Gee whiz, what a girl. What a girl. She's so glamorous. She makes my head buzz.
Archie, that's the front door.
Huh? Oh, yeah, I'll get it.
Hello, Archie.
Oh, hi, Betty.
Archie, I wondered... Oh, hi, Jug.
Hi, Betty.
Archie, was a package left here for me?
Gee, what a girl.
What did you say, Archie?
Oh, nothing, Betty. Not a thing.
Oh, I thought you said... Oh, well, doesn't matter. Say, Archie, was a package left here for... Archie, is that lipstick on your face?
Well, lipstick?
Yes.
On my face?
Yes, on your face.
Right now?
Yes, Archie, right now.
Are you sure?
Archie Andrews, I thought I saw Veronica leave here. It was Veronica, wasn't it?
Veronica? Veronica Lodge?
Archie, I'm not going through all that again. Oh, I might have known you'd let that old Veronica kiss you. Well, I don't care who kisses you, Mr. Andrews.
Oh, but Betty, gee whiz, I mean, wait, I mean, what was in that package you were expecting?
Oh, glue, if it makes any difference. Goodbye.
Gee whiz, Jug. Now what did I do, huh?
I don't know.
Did Veronica really leave lipstick on my face?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Yes, Fred, your hair looks fine. Now get your hat or we'll be late. Archie, you ready to leave?
Yes, Mom.
Archie, what's the matter with you?
Me, Mom? Not a thing.
Archie, maybe you should have some more of that tonic.
Now, Mom, let's not go through that again. Gee whiz, you don't want to be late for the party, do you?
Now, Archie, remember your manners.
Yes, Mom.
And please don't spend all evening with Veronica.
Yes, ma'am.
And say the food is good.
Gee whiz, Mom, I'm not a kid.
I know it, but when we had dinner at the Hendersons, you didn't have to say the chicken died of old age.
Well, I thought
Your
that...
mother is right, son.
And, Fred, you mind your manners, too.
Yes, I certainly will do. Manners? What's wrong with my manners? I mean, after all, dear,
Yes,
talking
Fred,
to me in
I
front of
know.
the boy.
Now ring the bell, dear.
I know, but, Mary, you think I was a child. It's very bad in front of you.
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Andrews and Master Andrews. Good evening.
Oh, good
Hello,
evening,
Edward. Archie?
Hi, Eddie, what's cooking?
Archie.
Huh?
May I take your hat, Mr. Andrews?
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Andrews and Archie.
How are you,
Veronica?
Veronica? My, you're looking lovely tonight, dear.
May I take your hat, Mr. Andrews?
Hello, Veronica.
Hello, Archie. My, what a lovely tie.
Do you like it?
May I take your hat, sir?
Oh, yes, lovely. Archie, do you have a cold?
No, Veronica, it's just that I smell rotten eggs.
Why?
Archie, for pity's sake.
Well, I do, Mom. It smells just like that. Gee whiz, Veronica, you don't smell like I thought you would.
Archie, really? I mean, after all... Well, I'd better go see how my other guests are doing.
But, Veronica, wait, you don't understand. Veronica, I can explain.
Archie, for pity's sake.
But, Veronica, you just don't understand.
I understand perfectly.
May I please take your hat, sir?
Fred, sakes alive, give Edwards your hat.
Mary, don't you think I would if I could?
Honest, Veronica, what I meant is... Excuse me.
My goodness.
Fred, why are you tugging at your hat?
Because it is stuck to the top of my head. That's why.
Oh, but Fred... Archie, for pity's sake, stop hiccuping. Fred, how could your hat possibly be stuck to... Fred, where are you going?
Home, that's where. I can't go to a party with my hat glued to my head.
You see, Veronica, what I...
Archie, please. Fred, you can't leave.
Mary, I certainly can. And besides, if you ask me... Veronica does smell of rotten eggs.
Fred! Wait, I'll go with you. Mrs. Andrews, maybe you'd better stay and see what's wrong with Archie.
Archie?
Gee whiz, there's nothing wrong with me. Veronica, it's only the hiccups, you know. People get hiccups practically every day.
Yes, I know. But this is the first time I ever saw anyone hiccup and blow bubbles at the same time.
Now, Archie, I'll have the doctor in just a minute, dear. You just sit there and try not to hiccup.
I am, Mom, but what do you think Veronica thought of me?
Never mind that. Hello, Dr. Higgins? This is Mrs. Andrews. Yes, Doctor, the strangest thing, Archie's hiccuping. I know, but he's blowing bubbles at the same time. No, I feel fine, Doctor. Yeah, but Archie's hiccuping soap bubbles. Yes, really. What? You will? All right, fine. Goodbye.
What did he say, Mom?
The doctor's calling Mr. Pringle to make up a special prescription for you, and you're to go right down there and get it, dear.
Okay, Mom, I better hurry. This is killing me.
I never in all my born
Mary,
days.
is that you?
Oh, yes, dear, we just got home. For pity's sake, are you still wearing that hat?
Mary, not by choice, I assure you. I've been looking in the mirror trying to cut it off with the scissors. But I keep snipping my ear.
Fred, I know exactly what the trouble is.
Yes?
That hat is glued to your head.
Mary, that's a brilliant deduction. Brilliant!
Gee whiz, Archie, what are you doing downtown? I thought you were at the party.
Boy, am I glad I ran into you, Jug.
Gee whiz, Archie, you're blowing bubbles.
I know it, Jug, I know it. Mr. Pringle is making something to stop this right away.
Stop it. Gee whiz, I know a lot of people who wish they could do that.
Jug, don't argue it.
I bet a circus would pay you a lot of money.
Jug, for gosh sake, go on into the drugstore and get that medicine.
Why me?
Because I can't go in there blowing bubbles.
Well, okay.
I'll wait here, and for gosh sake, hurry!
Hi, Tommy. Is Mr. Pringle in? Hi, Jug. Yeah, Mr. Pringle's in the back room making up a special prescription for those Andrews. Gee, that's what I came in for. Oh, swell. You'll save me a trip out there. They've been calling all night. Yeah. Should be ready in a minute. I'll go look. Okay. Hey, you mind if I look through this movie magazine? Oh, go right ahead. Thanks. Here you are, Jug, all set. Thanks. Gee, Tommy, you know that Betty Grable has some swimming pool. Yeah. But you better hurry with this prescription. Mr. Pringle says they need it right away, and it's just the thing. Okay. Should I put it on the Andrews bill? Yeah, and put this movie magazine on their bill, too. Bye. Okay, bye. Gee whiz, Archie, what's all the crowd?
Never mind. Did you get the stuff?
Yeah. He said it's just what you need.
Okay, then let's get out of here.
But I want to see what the crowd is looking at.
Jughead, the crowd is watching me.
Gee whiz, haven't they ever seen anyone blow bubbles before?
Yes, Jug, but not without a bubble pipe. Now, come on!
Oh, Mary, that water is hot. Ooh.
I know it's hot, dear, but it's the only way to get that hat off.
All right, but you don't have to boil it off. Oh, Mary, for gosh sake.
Well, I think the glue's all dissolved now, dear.
So's my head.
Well, try to pull the hat again.
All right.
Oh, you did it, Fred. It's off.
Yes. Finally. Mary, did it take all my hair with it?
Well, let's see. Oh, no, dear, but your hair's a little messy.
Well, I'm not worried about that. At least I don't have to wear that hat the rest of my life.
Well, I still don't understand how it happened.
Yes, Mary, there are a lot of things that happened around here tonight that I'll never understand.
You see, Jug, it worked already. I'm all better. Gee, I guess so.
Archie, is that you?
Yes, Dad. Gee, what happened to your hair?
Well, my hat got stuck. Never mind that now. Just what happened to you at the party?
Gee, I don't know, Dad. I started hiccuping, and every time I hicced, I blew bubbles.
Bubbles? Bubbles? Oh, good grief. Now, look. There are just a few things around here that need explaining. The glue in my hair, the bubbles, Veronica smelling like rotten eggs, and, well, there's only one way we'll ever get to the bottom of this. Now, everyone say exactly what they ordered from Pringle's drugstore. Archie?
Well, I ordered some bubble bath for Veronica.
And I ordered the health tonic for Archie.
And I ordered the hairdressing for myself. Well, now we're getting somewhere.
We are?
Of course, it's as plain as can be. When your tonic came, I thought that it... No, that's not right. Let's see. Oh, when my hairdressing came, Mary, you thought, naturally, that it was, that doesn't seem to be right either, huh? When the glue came, the glue. Say, who ordered that glue?
Glue? Oh, gee, Betty did, and had it delivered here.
Oh, and I forgot to tell her it was here.
Aha, now we're getting someplace. Now, just who handed me that glue?
You took it yourself, Mr. Andrews.
Jug, keep out of this. Come on now, confess. Who had... myself. You mean I'd... the bottle on the hall table. Was that glue?
Yes, dear. Evidently you have no one to blame but yourself.
Oh, yes, but who gave me the bubble bath?
I did. But you didn't tell me you'd ordered it. I thought it was the tonic, dear.
And how did Veronica get the tonic?
Well, she got here before I had a chance to open the package, and I gave it to her thinking it was bubble bath.
Well, then it's your own fault.
Well, then, evidently nobody is to blame.
Of course not.
Gee whiz.
Well, at any rate, we have that little mystery straightened out.
I still don't know how it ever happened.
That is beside the point, Mary. The main thing is to see that it does not happen again. Now, I hope we've all learned our lesson. I hope we've learned that everyone should let everyone else know what everyone else has ordered whenever everyone has, well, you get the point.
Yes, Dad.
Oh, I'll get it.
Just a minute. I'll get it. We've had enough trouble for one night.
Pringle's drugstore. Here's that medicine.
Medicine, but I didn't
Oh,
order
good.
any
We've been waiting for that medicine.
Medicine? Medicine? Then what was it I just took?
And what happened to my order?
Your order? Fred, what did you order?
Well, I called Pringle to send me some shampoo to get this glue out of my hair, and he said...
Shampoo! Shampoo!
Archie, now, Mary, for gosh sakes, that boy is blowing bubbles again.
You've been listening to another chapter of The Adventures of Archie Andrews, written by Carl Jampel and based on the copyrighted feature appearing in Archie Comics magazine. Archie is played by Bob Hastings, Jughead by Harlan Stone. Others in the cast include Alice Yearman, Ian Martin, Gloria Mann, and Rosemary Rice. Felix McGuire at the organ. Production was under the direction of Charles Urquhart. And now back to the Andrews.
More toast, Archie?
Yes, please, Mom. Gee, that was quite a mix-up last night, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, dear. And you know, after I got into bed, one thing kept puzzling me.
What was that, Mom?
Whatever became of that first bottle of tonic? I'm sure we had some in the house.
Oh, that.
Well. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Dad.
Oh, what are you so gay about this morning, Fred?
Oh, I don't know. I always feel good after I wash and shave. That aftershave lotion does it, I think. Perks a man up.
Yes, dear. Well, sit down and have you... Fred,
Yes, dear?
you smell like rotten eggs.
Rotten eggs. Oh, now don't be silly, dear. How could I possibly smell of... I do, don't I?
Archie, come back here.
Listen next week for more of the merry adventures of Archie Andrews. Friends, if you'd like to see our show, just write to Archie Andrews, NBC, Radio City 20, New York City. That's Archie Andrews, NBC, Radio City 20, New York City. Or if you live nearby and are in the neighborhood some Saturday morning, you may obtain tickets right at the studio. Just ask to see Archie Andrews. And now this is Bob Sherry wishing you a very pleasant weekend. So long.
HOJO Radio, we're your old-time radio headquarters. Stay tuned.
Hello?
Hello, Jughead. This is Archie. Come over right away. It's a matter of life or death.
Oh, relax, Archie. Relax.
Yes, and you relax too, folks, if you can, because here he is again, right out of the pages of Archie Comics magazine, with all his gang, Archie Andrews. Well, tonight is Saturday night as we look in on the Andrews home in Riverdale. We find Mrs. Andrews in the living room sewing as Archie enters.
I'll be down to get you in a taxi, honey. Da-da-da-da. Oh, hi, Mom.
Well, Archie, what's all the rush?
Big date, Mom. Excuse me. I got to call Jughead.
Well, don't let me keep you.
Operator, get me Riverdale 247, please. Better be ready about 8:30. Da-da-da-dee-dee-dee. Da-da-da-dee. Jughead?
This isn't Gregory Peck.
Jughead, what kind of an answer is that?
I heard that on a radio program.
Very funny. But listen, Jug, what time are you coming over here?
As soon as I finish dressing. I want to get to the dance early.
Why?
Because the only time I can dance without bumping into everyone is when no one else is on the dance floor.
Well, all right, Jug. We'll try to get there early so you can dance. You come over here as soon as you can, and then we'll call for Betty and Veronica.
Okay. Are you dressed yet?
No, but I'm going to get dressed right now.
Okay, see you later.
Yeah, bye, Jug.
Huh?
Bye.
Oh, bye.
Who are you taking to the dance, dear?
Well, it's a long story, Mom. I wanted to take Veronica, but Betty wanted to go with me, too. And Jughead had no one to take, so we made it a double date, and we're all going together.
Oh, I see.
Well, I better start dressing or I'll be late. Oh, I'll be down the deck in a taxi.
Oh, that boy, he's exactly like his father.
Saturday night is the loveliest night in the week. Oh, do Saturday night is the... Oh, hello, dear. Newspaper down here?
Yes, dear, right there. Fred, why are you wearing your bathrobe and slippers?
Ah, yes.
Fred, I asked you a question.
Yes, dear, yes, well.
Fred Andrews, just what is so interesting in that paper?
Oh, nothing, dear, nothing. Just glancing through it. It says here United Nations Week starts tomorrow.
Yes, I know, but...
General Assembly opens October 23rd.
Yes, dear, that's fine, but I still want an answer to my question.
Question? Question? What question?
Well, I asked you why you're wearing your bathrobe and slippers.
Oh. Well, now, Mary, what do you want me to wear? A negligee and galoshes?
Fred, don't be funny, and tell me why you're wearing your bathrobe at 7:30.
Well, Mary, if you have no violent objections, I am going to take a bath.
A bath? Oh, but Fred, I thought we might go to a movie tonight.
Oh, not tonight, dear, not tonight. No, sir, I'm just in the mood for a nice hot bath. Yes, sir, I'd like nothing better than to relax for about half an hour and just soap and soak. Yes, sir. That's my motto tonight, soap and soak. Or, if you prefer, soak and soap. I bet you can say that 3 times fast.
No, dear, I probably can't.
No, just try it, Mary. Soap and soap, soak and soap, soap and soak and soap. You see, it can't be done.
Oh, honestly, Fred, won't you ever grow up? Now go on, take your bath.
All right, Mary. That's exactly what I intend to do right this minute. Oh, I'm forever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the air. Fortune's only bubbles, everywhere. Wonder if that's going to be hot enough. Ooh, it's hot as blue blazes. Now, a little cold water will fix that. Bubbles, they fly so high, nearly reach. Let's see now. That should be just about... Ooh, it's freezing. Oh, just a minute ago it was red hot, and now it's well, a little more hot will do. There we are. Soap and soak, soap and soak, soap and... No, it can't be said, Well, let's see now. The water should be just about... there we are. Just right. Yes, sir. Just exactly right. Now, I'll just... What do you want, Mary?
Telephone, Fred.
No. Oh, for gosh sakes, who is it?
Tom Henderson.
But what does he want?
He wants to talk to you.
Oh, All right, I'll be right there. At least he called before I got in the tub. Keep him calling all the time.
Were you in the tub, Fred?
Almost, but not quite. Now, I wonder what the dickens that old windbag wants.
Here you are.
Huh? Oh, thanks. Hello? Oh, yes, fine, Tom. How's yourself? Good. I'm glad to hear it. Yes. I was... yes. All right, yes, let's do that. Yes. Well, glad you called, Tom. Bye.
What do you want, dear?
What did he want? He just wanted to say hello.
Well, I guess he did.
He did. I don't know why that old windbag calls me up all the time. He never has a thing to say, not a blessed thing. Well, up to the bath. I'm forever blowing. Now, who locked this confounded door? Archie, are you in there?
Yes, Dad, I'm taking a bath.
Oh, I'm taking a bath. Well, that's... Taking a bath? In my tub? Archie, for gosh sakes, I was going to take a bath.
But gee whiz, Dad, I'm going out and I gotta take a bath before I get dressed.
Oh, sure, so you just jumped right into my nice tub of hot water. Do you think that water grew there?
Oh, gosh, no, I thought Mom got it ready for me.
Oh, fine. Well, I suppose now that you're in the tub, you're in the tub.
I sure am, Dad.
But don't be all night about it, you hear?
Be out in 2 minutes, Dad.
All right, see that you are. Turn you back for a moment. Mary.
Yes, dear?
Mary, do you know what happened?
What?
Well, while I was down here listening to Tom Henderson say hello, your son got into the bathtub.
Oh, for pity's sake.
I don't know why. The moment I turn my back, somebody's
Fred,
always...
will you answer that, dear?
Oh, all right, I'll answer it. But if that's Tom Henderson, I'll have something... Hello?
Mr. Andrews?
Oh, Veronica, yes. This is Mr. Andrews.
Is Archie there?
Oh, no, he's upstairs in the... he's upstairs, Veronica.
Oh, would you mind calling him to the phone?
Calling him to the... Why, Veronica, that would be a pleasure. Archie! Oh, Archie!
Calling me, Dad?
Yes, telephone.
Gee whiz, who is it?
Veronica!
Gee whiz, I'll be right there.
All right, Veronica, he'll be right here.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Andrews.
Well, Mary, I guess that'll teach the boy to go around bathing behind people's backs.
Fred, you're just cutting off your nose to spite your face. Now you'll only have to wait that much longer to take your bath.
Mary, I don't care if I have to... I never thought of that. But,
Gee, thanks, Dad.
Archie, you'll catch your death of cold running around in that towel.
Oh, I'll only be a minute, Mom.
all right, see that you're no longer...
Hello?
Hello, Archie. How are you, Archie Kim? I'm anxious to see you later, Archie.
Archie, for goodness sake, just what is tickling you?
Fred.
Gee whiz, Dad, this is important.
Well, important or not, either say something or get back upstairs and finish that bath.
Okay, Dad, okay. Hello, Veronica.
Yes?
I got a rush now. Did you want to speak to me about anything special?
Well, yes. What time are we going to the dance?
Well, I don't know. About 8:30, I guess.
Well, could we make it a little later?
Later?
Uh-huh. I hate to be the first one there, don't you? I'd much rather make an entrance.
Oh, well, sure, if you want, Veronica. Is that all?
Uh-huh. I'll see you later, Archie. Bye.
Bye, Veronica.
Well, what was so important?
Well, you see, Veronica wanted me to come...
Never mind. Just get upstairs and finish that bath. will you?
Dad, I'll be finished before you can say Jack Robinson.
Archie, I do not want to say Jack Robinson. I want to take a bath.
Fred, really, I think you're making too much fuss about this whole thing. You can take a bath 5 minutes from now.
Now, Mary, that is not the point. I like to take a bath when I'm in the mood for taking a bath, not just any time.
Oh, you have to be inspired.
No, Mary, I don't. The point is that the boy had no right to go in that tub when I was all ready to use it.
Fred, he didn't know.
He knew I was waiting when he was on the phone, didn't he?
Well, yes.
And did you hear him? Does he care that I'm waiting to take a bath? No, he sits there giggling. Mary, it's time that boy learned to think of other people.
Fred, you're making a big fuss over nothing. He's probably through by now.
Mary, I am not making any fuss over through. You think he is? Archie! Archie!
Yes, Dad?
Archie, are you out of the bathtub yet?
Well, no, Dad. I'm waiting for it to fill up.
Oh, fill up?
Yeah, it was ice cold when I got back here, and I had to fill it up all over again.
Mary, you see
Now,
what...
Fred, remember your blood pressure.
Blood pressure? Mary, in a minute, I won't need a hot bath. I'm boiling right now.
Fred, will you please stop pacing up and down?
Mary, is that boy going to stay in that bathtub all night?
I'm sure I don't know. He had to.
Dad, I'm all through with the tub.
When I was a boy, we took a... Through? Archie, did you say you were through?
Yes, Dad.
Well, it's about time.
There, you see?
See what?
Oh, never mind, dear. Just go up and take your bath.
Oh. Well, thank you. Thank you, madame. I'm certainly glad I have your permission. Keeping people out of the bathtub all night. I'm forever blowing bubbles. Let's see now. I don't want to get it too hot again. Oh, for gosh sakes. Mary!
Yes?
This water is ice cold.
It is? Well, Archie must have used all the hot water.
Oh, fine. Well, what do I do now?
Just let it run.
Just what?
Just let the water run. There'll be more hot water in a minute.
All right. Let it run. I don't know why we can't have enough hot water around here. I like to... Oh, for gosh sake.
Gee whiz, Dad, what was all the noise?
Just the water pipe. It was knocking.
Oh, gosh, I thought the house was falling in.
Archie, the house was not falling in. The
what
water...
was that noise?
Mary, I was running the hot water faucet and the pipe started to clatter.
But it never happened before.
I know it, Mary, but it was just an ordinary pipe rattle. Evidently the washer is gone.
Washer?
Yes, the washer, the rubber washer that keeps the faucet from leaking. It must be worn out and the air's getting in there and making the pipe knock. It's just as simple as that.
Oh, I see. Well, you better forget about your bath, and I'll call the plumber first thing in the morning.
Mary, tomorrow is Sunday, and you cannot get a plumber on Sunday, and I can fix a thing myself in
But,
half
Fred,
a minute.
I
Mary,
think you
it's perfectly simple. All I have to do is go down to the basement and shut off the hot water, then open this faucet up and put in a new washer.
Well, I still think a plumber should do it.
Me too, Dad.
Now listen. I am not paying any plumbers to do this job. I can do it myself. I want a bath. And by gosh, I'm going to get one if I have to rebuild the house to do it. Mary!
Yes, Fred?
Is Archie up there in the bathroom?
Yes. Where are you?
I'm down in the cellar. I think I have the water shut off down here. Ask Archie to try the hot water and see if it's off.
But, Fred, won't those pipes start
the boiler? Fred, how'd you ever get under there?
Never mind how I got under here, Mary. Just tell Archie to try the water again.
All right.
And Mary, tell him to hurry. I can't stay here all night.
All right, dear. Oh, dear. Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Andrews. This is Betty.
Oh, hello, Betty.
Is Archie there?
Well, yes, dear, but he can't come to the phone right now. He's up in the... he's very busy.
Oh, gosh. I wanted to ask him something very important.
Mary?
Well, maybe I can ask him for you, Betty.
Well, all right. Ask him what time he plans on getting to the dance.
All right, dear. Hold on.
Mary!
Archie!
Yes, Mom?
Betty's on the phone.
Betty? What does she want?
She wants to know what time you're going to the dance, dear.
8:35.
All right, I'll tell her. Hello, Betty.
Mary!
Yes, Mrs. Andrews?
Archie says 8:35, dear.
Oh, so late? Oh, gosh. Ask him if he couldn't make it a little earlier. We always get to dances late and miss half of it. I'd like to get there right on time this once.
Well,
Mary!
all right, Betty, I'll ask him. Hold on. Archie!
Yes, Mom.
Betty wants to leave a little earlier, dear. She wants to get there on time for once.
Okay, Mom.
Hello, Betty.
Yes?
Archie said all right, dear.
Okay, swell, Mrs. Andrews. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Goodbye, dear.
What did she say, Mom?
She said all right, dear.
Okay, swell, thanks.
Fred, is that you? Well, for pity's sake, what are you shouting about?
Shouting? Mary, I can barely talk anymore.
Why?
Because oh, Mary, never mind. Is that water off or not?
Oh, I don't know. I'll ask Archie.
You don't know? What have you been doing? Taking a gallop home?
Fred, there's no need to be sarcastic. Archie!
Yes, Mom.
Is the water off up there?
Sure, it's been off for an hour.
Fred! The water's been off for an hour. Now what do you want us to do?
Oh, nothing. I'll come up and fix the washer. Oh. I'd still like to know what went on up here while I was waiting to find out if the water was off or not.
Fred, it doesn't matter now.
No, I suppose it doesn't.
But I still think you ought to let a plumber do the job.
Mary, may I remind you that I intend to take a bath tonight?
All right, dear, but don't say I didn't warn you.
I won't. Oh, you told me. Everybody tells me. Does anybody ever ask me what I want to say about the whole thing? Now what? Archie, are you in there?
Well, sure, Dad. Don't you want me in here?
No, I don't want you in there. Open the door and let me get at that bathtub, will you?
Open it. I never locked it.
Archie, you must have. This door is locked. See?
Gee whiz, I don't know how it could have happened.
Archie, I am not interested in how it happened. Just unlock it.
But, Dad, the lock part isn't turned. The doorknob must be broken.
Archie, I can... broken? Oh, they couldn't be broken. I mean, I never heard of a lock just breaking. Well, how am I going to get in to take my... Archie, are you sure?
Positive.
No. Oh, fine. Fine.
What are you shouting about? Haven't you started your bath yet?
No, Mary, not yet. There's just a little something else I have to attend to first.
What, dear?
Oh, nothing important. I just have to saw this bathroom door open, that's all.
Gee whiz, Dad, how much longer?
Archie, just be quiet, Archie.
Gee whiz, I never knew wood could take so long to saw.
Well, Archie, your father's almost finished.
Yes, just be patient. I'm almost finished, all right.
Well, hurry up or I'll be late.
Archie, I want to get in there just as much as you want to get out.
Archie, just be quiet.
Oh, there. There, it's finished.
Dad, I think it's finished.
Yes, Archie, I know. Now, just see if you can knock that piece out, will you?
What piece?
The piece of wood around the doorknob that I just sawed.
Oh, okay. Look out. There, that did it. It fell out.
Yes, sir, there we are.
At last.
Hello.
Hello. Archie, get your head out of that hole and open the door.
Boy, I bet not many houses have a hole in the bathroom door.
Archie, I said to take your head out of that hole.
Okay, I will. That's funny.
Come on, hurry up, Archie, hurry up.
Gee whiz, Dad, don't you think I would if I could?
I want to take a... What do you mean, if you could? Archie, what do you mean?
Oh, for pity's sake, his head is stuck in there.
Oh, boy, I'm sure stuck.
Oh, now, how can his head be stuck? He got it in, didn't he?
Yeah, but it sure won't come out.
Listen, if it went in, it's got to come out. Whatever... Look, I'll see that...
Oh, Fred, don't push the boy's head that way.
Well, it's the only way to get him out.
Oh, hey, quit it, Dad, don't. Oh, hey.
Well, I guess that won't work. Well, now, let me see. There must be some way to do this.
Well, maybe you should take the hinges off,
The
Fred.
hinge... Oh, no, I can't. They're on the inside. Archie, can't you open that door?
How? It opens out and my shoulders are jammed against the wall.
Jammed again. Oh, yes, that's right. Well...
Gee whiz, I'll sure look silly wearing a bathroom door around my neck the rest of my life.
Fred, do something.
Well, do you have any ideas?
What'll people think when they see me wearing a door? Especially a bathroom door.
Archie, people won't think anything. They won't.
Fred, I think the boy's turning blue.
Blue? Now, Mary, don't get hysterical. He's not turning blue.
Just a little green.
Archie, be quiet.
Wait a minute. I know. Archie, you must have put your head in sideways. The hole is wider that way.
Oh, gee, maybe I did.
Yeah, so just try to take it out that way. Go on, just turn your head sideways. That's it. And now just a little more.
If I turn it any more, I won't know if I'm coming or going.
Oh, Archie.
Archie, come on now. Just turn your head a little bit more. Here, I'll help.
Ouch! Hey! Fred, you're wringing his neck.
That's the best thought of the evening.
No.
Come on, Archie.
Oh.
Turn.
Ouch! Oh, I'm out.
There. That did it. Now, Archie, open that door and come out here.
Thank goodness.
Wow. Am I still in one piece?
Of course you're still in one piece.
Thank goodness that's over.
Yes, now if you'll just let me get to that faucet, I'll put in a new washer and everything.
Fred, why don't you give up the idea?
Mary, I am not quitting now.
But, Dad, why don't
Quiet.
you call a
I'll just open this faucet and... Gee whiz.
Gee.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Archie, I thought you said the water was turned off.
Gee, it was off, Dad.
Archie, are you sure?
Positive.
Oh, no, how do these things happen to me? Here I go, traipsing around the basement all evening and come up here and Archie's locked in and he sticks his head into the hole and then I can't get in the hole when I want to. I mean the tub when I want to and now I find the water is still running.
But, Fred, the pipes didn't knock.
Yeah, the pipes didn't knock the least bit that time.
Does that have to be explained to me? Didn't knock. But if the washer's worn out, they've... I mean, the last time I tried the pipes, they were... They didn't knock, did they?
No, they didn't.
Well, then let's try that faucet again. By gosh, they don't knock. And just feel that water. Piping hot. Well.
Oh, that's swell, Dad.
Yes, dear. What did you do to fix it?
What did I do to fix it? What did I do?
Yeah.
Well, you know, Mary, that's easy. I just went down to the basement and I simply went under the boiler and while I was, it's a highly technical matter, Mary. I don't think, isn't that the front door?
Oh, yeah, it is. I bet that's Jughead.
Yes, I bet it is Jughead. You'd better hurry.
Yeah, well, see you later, Mom. See you later, Dad.
Yeah, yes. See you later, Archie.
Hey, Archie!
I'm coming, Jug. I'm coming.
Well, saved by the bell. Well, dear, I guess I can finally take that bath.
Yes, dear, I suppose so. But later, I wish you'd explain that highly technical matter of how you fix the water pipes. I'll be downstairs if you want me.
Yes, all right, dear. Later. I'll explain it all later. Much later. Well, it's been quite a night. Quite a night. That's all water under the bridge. I don't suppose anything else can happen. Oh, I'm forever blowing a bubble. Well, that should be enough water, I think. Let's see how that is. Yeah, just right. Oh, that's fine. Oh, I'm forever blowing bubbles. Pretty. Oh, that's a little warm. Oh, Fine. Oh, this is just what the doctor ordered, Soap and soak. Soap and soak, soak and soap, soak and soap and soap and soap. I can't say it. Soap. Now, where is the soap? Oh, Mary! Oh, Mary!
Fred, what now?
Would you bring me a piece of soap, please?
It's in the soap tray.
No, it isn't.
Well, it must be.
Mary, I say that there isn't a drop of soap in here. Archie must have used the last of it.
Oh, dear. That's terrible.
Mary, never mind the editorial comments. All I want is another piece of soap.
Well, that's just it, dear. There isn't any. I went to 6 stores today and couldn't get a single cake of soap. Fred, you'll just have to forget your bath.
Forget my... Oh, how do these things happen to me?
Yes, when it comes to things being peaceful and quiet around the Andrews home, it's always no soap. You've been listening to another chapter of The Adventures of Archie Andrews, written by Carl Jampel and based on the copyrighted feature appearing in Archie Comics magazine. Archie is played by Bob Hastings, Jughead by Harlan Stone, Mrs. Andrews by Alice Yorman, Dad by Ian Martin, Veronica and Betty by Gloria Mann and Rosemary Rice. This program is directed by Kenneth McGregor. But now for another glimpse of the Andrews. Later that night, Mom and Dad have just gotten into bed.
Well, good night, dear. Good night.
Good night, Fred.
But I still say the whole thing was Archie's fault.
Oh, Fred, let's forget it. It doesn't really matter.
Well, all right. But it does matter.
Fred.
Good night, dear. Good night.
Good night, dear.
Mom, Dad.
Oh,
no.
Archie, for pity's sake, don't make so much noise.
Are you home already?
Yup, and boy, did I have a swell time.
Really?
And how Veronica and I won the jitterbug contest. But that dance committee, you'd think they'd spend a little money on prizes.
Well, didn't you get any prizes?
Oh, yeah, Veronica got a bottle of perfume.
Well, that's nice.
Oh, sure, but you know what I got stuck with?
Oh, what?
Bath soap. Plain old bath soap.
What? Oh, no!
Listen next week for more of the merry adventures of Archie Andrews. This is Bob Sherry wishing you a very pleasant weekend. So long!
Our next broadcast was a family sitcom launched on CBS in 1944. It starred a real-life family, the Nelsons, who consisted of Ozzie and his wife Harriet and their kids, David and Eric. We present to you Ozzie and Harriet, next on HOJO Radio.
America's finest silver plate is 1847 Rogers Brothers. From Hollywood, International Silver Company, creators of 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate, presents The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring young America's favorite couple, Ozzie Nelson and Harriet Hilliard. Well, let's look in and see what the Nelsons of 1847 Rogers Road are doing. It's quite late at night. So late I can't even see what time it is. Oh, thank you. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. And all we can hear are the customary sounds of night. The grandfather's clock in the hall, a couple of crickets chirping on the lawn, the distant screams of the pedestrians on Sunset Boulevard. We tiptoe up the carpeted stairs and peek into the bedroom. Aren't we devils? The stillness there is interrupted only by the gentle ticking of the clock. Oh, wait a minute. I think I hear Harriet's voice.
And I think I really should get that hat because I haven't had a thing to wear with my navy blue outfit except that old hat I bought last year. And, besides, that really doesn't go with my navy blue anyhow.
Ozzie replies,
He sure falls asleep fast. Well, I may as well go to sleep myself. Oh, goodness, the faucet in the bathroom's dripping. I'll never fall asleep now. Ozzie. Ozzie, dear, wake up.
Good night, dear.
Ozzie, there's a drip in the bathroom. I say there's a drip in the bathroom.
Doesn't he know this is a private home?
Oh, please, dear. It's the faucet in the bathroom. Would you get up and shut it off? It'll keep us awake all night.
I don't hear a thing. Good night, dear.
Oh, honey, I'm sure the faucet is dripping. Aren't you going to get up and turn it off?
Well, let's wait until the next time you hear burglars, and then I can get up for both of them at the same time.
Ozzie, it may flood the bathroom. We could both be drowned in our sleep.
Okay. Go to the closet, and on the top shelf there's a box. Get it.
What's in it?
Water wings.
Very funny, very funny. You mean you're not going to turn off the faucet?
Well, darling, it isn't bothering me. Why should I bother it? Live and let live, I always say.
Oh, you dog.
And let sleeping dogs lie.
You mean to say you can sleep with that going on?
I told you I don't hear any dripping.
Oh, for goodness sakes, listen.
I don't hear a thing.
There, did you hear that?
I don't hear a thing. It must be your imagination. I didn't hear that one either.
Ozzie Nelson, you know you hear it just as well as I do.
Okay, the faucet is dripping a little. So what? I'm tired.
Oh. So you won't do a little thing like shutting off the faucet for me. The day of chivalry is certainly dead. In those days, a man would never let his wife do any menial work.
Listen, if these were the days of chivalry, I'd probably be a knight, wouldn't I? And I'd have to go out and fight dragons and things, wouldn't I?
Well, I suppose so.
Well, if I'm out fighting dragons, wouldn't you have to get up and shut off the faucet?
That's not one bit funny. I'm not kidding. This is going a little too far. You don't love me anymore.
Oh, darling, where's your sense of humor? Of course I love you, and you know it. I love you more than anything in the whole wide world. I think you're the most wonderful wife a man ever had. Now go and shut off the water.
I will not. The floor is cold, and you know it.
Well, it's cold on my little piggy wiggies, too, you know. I tell you what I'll do. I'll show you that chivalry isn't dead. I'll be a gentleman about it. I'll play you gin rummy. Loser goes.
Gin rummy? Oh, we haven't got any cards.
I'll get the cards. Where's the light? Oh, there. The cards here in the dresser, Harriet?
I think they're in the hall table.
Oh. They're not here, Harriet.
Try the medicine cabinet in the bathroom.
Funny place for cards in the bathroom.
And while you're there, turn off the faucet.
Oh. Okay, there. Harriet, I can't find the cards here.
Never mind the cards.
Never mind, but how are we going to decide who... I've been tricked, and by my own wife, too.
Well, anyway, dear, the faucet is shut off.
Yeah. I might as well admit it was beginning to bother me, too. Boy, I'm sleepy. Oh, this bed feels good.
Thank you very much, dear.
No, nothing at all.
I'm sorry I tricked you, Ozzy.
Oh, that's all right.
Now we can sleep.
Oh, good hours.
Good night, dear.
Good night. Oh, for the love of Mike.
Obstinate little gadget, isn't it?
Wait a minute, I got an idea.
Where are you going? What are you going to do?
I'll be right back. There, that did it.
What'd you do?
Honey, I must admit that I fixed that leak with a simple little device that the average husband wouldn't have thought of.
What'd you do? Leave a finger there?
No. It's a very simple psychological matter. Since I couldn't stop the drip, I merely turned the water on a little hotter, and since a steady stream of water makes little or no noise, presto, I have eliminated the disturbing elements.
Oh, Ozzy, you're wonderful.
And if you should hear the gentle flowing of the water, just imagine you're out camping by a mountain stream, and you'll fall right off to sleep.
Darling, sometimes I think you're an absolute genius.
Oh. Well, maybe you're right at that. Oh, good night, dear. Gosh, it's morning already.
I just woke up, too. It's a lovely day.
Well, might as well hop out of bed and get dressed. Holy smokes, this is the worst early morning fog in history. Well, Harriet, the room is flooded.
Flooded?
Yes, hurry, get dressed. Quick, grab your shoes as they float by.
Oh, something must have happened with that faucet. You better get to the bathroom and see what's wrong.
Oh, I just happened to think of something. Harriet, remember last night when I figured out a way to stop that drip by letting the water run a little faster?
Yes.
Well, even the greatest of scientists on the eve of world-shaking discoveries often overlook matters of less magnitude in their zeal and absorption.
You mean you left the stopper in the sink?
Right.
Well, Mr. Scientist, you'll just have to get busy and clean up this mess before you get any breakfast today.
Okay, it's my own fault, and I'm perfectly willing to take the consequences. But how am I going to get rid of all this water? Shall I get an 1847 Rogers Brothers silver-plated spoon and ladle it up?
Well, you could, dear. But a simpler way would be a pail and 2 mops.
Well, I don't know much about this. What do I do with the mops?
Well, just make believe it's New Year's Eve.
Make believe it's New Year's Eve?
Mm-hmm. Just wring out the old and ring in the new.
Oh, wow, what a job that was.
Morning, Pop.
Hello, David.
Ready for breakfast now, dear?
Yep.
All through upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't take you so long after all.
No, just 3.5 hours. I am now an expert on mopping up operations.
Well, here's your breakfast, dear.
I'll just have the toast and the eggs.
Don't you want any orange juice?
Please, no liquids.
Will you excuse me, dear? I want to call a plumber to come over and fix the faucet.
Well, you're not serious, are you?
Well, of course I am.
Well, you don't think I'd be so idiotic as to have a plumber come all the way over here just to fix a leaky faucet?
Well, why not? Last week you called in an electrician just to change an electric light bulb.
Go ahead, make fun of me.
What do you think I'm doing now? No, honestly, honey, you're a very, very, very clever fellow. And I love you dearly, but there's no sense in having the house wash away.
Now, Harriet, stop talking nonsense. House wash away. We have a little flood around here, and everybody gets frightened to death.
Nobody was frightened.
Oh, no? Then who hung those water wings in the bathroom?
Those aren't water wings.
Oh.
Gloria's probably waiting to clear away these dishes. Oh, Gloria! Gloria!
Did you call me, Mrs. Nelson?
Yes, I did, Gloria. We're finished breakfast. Hey, by the way, your room is exactly under ours. Did the water leak through?
Well, the water leaked through, but nothing got wet. You see, I sleep with my mouth open.
You mean you swallowed the water?
Well, I don't know, but come to think of it, this morning when I ate a piece of toast, I could hear it splash. Tell me, Mrs. Nelson, how did the flood start?
Well, Mr. Nelson thought it'd be nice to let the water run and dream we were out camping beside a mountain stream.
Oh, sure. It was all my fault.
I went camping once. Way up on a mountaintop.
Oh, my, that sounds romantic.
Oh, it was romantic. One night I was sitting under the stars, and someone sat down beside me, and he put his arm around me. And we sat there not saying a word, just looking at the stars. And then the moon came up just in time.
Well, what do you mean?
5 minutes more and I'd have been engaged to a grizzly bear.
Oh, it must have been frightening when the moon came up and you were sitting there with a grizzly bear.
It must have been. He ran like everything. Well, I hope the flood in the house didn't do too much damage.
Oh, I don't think so. Nothing really serious.
You should have seen that water dripping down the stairs this morning.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't wake us, Gloria. Try to remember, always call us any time you see anything unusual in the house.
Well, that's not so unusual.
My goodness, if water dripping down the stairs isn't unusual, what is?
Water dripping up the stairs?
I see what you mean. Well, Gloria, be prepared for anything around here this morning because Mr. Nelson insists he's going to fix the leak himself.
Mrs. Nelson's just jealous because she's not mechanically inclined. Are you mechanically inclined, Gloria?
Oh, yes. I could go for a nice mechanic anytime.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we had to call on your boyfriend Elmer before Mr. Nelson's through.
Oh, but Elmer's no good at fixing things.
Why, didn't you tell me the other day that Elmer was a handyman?
I just meant that he only lives 2 blocks away. He's a handyman. Well, I better clean away these dishes.
And I better go upstairs and fix that leak.
Can I go with you, Pop?
Now, you see that, Harriet? You're afraid I'm going to flood the house, but thank goodness at least my son has confidence in me. Come on along, David.
I'll be right with you, Dad, as soon as I get my sailboat.
Yeah, it's really leaking all right.
Yeah, but are you sure you can fix it?
There's nothing to it, David. You just watch. There isn't anything your old man doesn't know about plumbing. I know this sink like a book. You can assist Daddy in the operation if you like.
Gee, thanks, Dad.
Now we go to work. Wrench.
Wrench.
Pliers.
Pliers.
Screwdriver.
Screwdriver.
Hammer.
Hammer.
Iodine. I think maybe I'd better go with this a little different way. Aha, here we are. This'll take care of the old leak. Now watch, David. I just put the monkey wrench on this pipe, and I twist it to the right. Turning to the right always shuts things off, David.
Are you sure, Dad?
Positive. That's how all pipes are made. Twisting to the right shuts them off. And I hit the monkey wrench with a hammer now to turn it real hard.
Pop!
What if that loosens the whole thing up?
It won't, son.
Are you sure, Pop?
I'm as sure of that as I am that tomorrow will be a beautiful day. Well, that's California for you.
Well, as the walrus might have said to the carpenter, now it's my turn to speak to those of you who have been saving for the day when you could go to your silverware dealers, ask for 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate, and get it. That day will be here very soon, too. If you could see the town of Meriden, Connecticut, where the home of 1847 Rogers Brothers is, you'd be sure of that. For in Meriden today, the harsh, urgent clamor of war machinery has given place to the quiet hum of silversmithing. The skilled hands that broke all records turning out fighting weapons are again engaged in the task they love, the creation of America's finest silver plate. Soon the silver plate itself will be at your silverware dealers, as lovely in design, as incomparable in craftsmanship as always. We feel sure you'll want to wait that short while, that before you buy any new silverware for your home, you'll want to see the famous silver plate of the 1847 Rogers Brothers. It's time for those lovely singing stars, the famous King Sisters.
Is it big or small? Is it spring or fall? Is it fresh or panned? Is it fresh or canned? Gotta know before I go. Gotta be this or that. Is it old or new? Is it me or you? Is it much or few? Ha 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 or boo? You're a square to be so unfair. Gotta be this or that. Who can it be? If it ain't me, it's surely not your mother. Can't you see? It's got to be one way or another. Tell me what I must know. If you don't like, I'll go. If it ain't yes, it's no. Gotta be this or that. It's day or night. It's black or white. It is loose or tight. Gotta be this or that. Dog or cat. Corny or twisted cat. Lean or fat. Dear fat baby. Gotta be this or that.
Now back to Ozzie and Harriet. Well, things are sure in a mess at the Nelson household at 1847 Rogers Road. Ozzie's attempt to fix something has led to complete disaster. Instead of fixing the leak in the pipe, Ozzie has succeeded in breaking it and causing a small-sized flood. As our scene opens, our hero is entering a nearby plumbing shop.
Say, could you come up to our house right away? We got a busted pipe that needs fixing.
Well, I'll tell the boss about it.
Well, what about you? Aren't you a plumber?
Me? No, I ain't no plumber. I'm just a plumber's helper. I ain't allowed to fix nothing. I'm only allowed to watch it being fixed.
Well, look, this is rather urgent.
Okay. Just relax, mister. Give me your name and address. I'll put it on the list. And as soon as the boss can look at it, you'll be taken care of. That's the best I can do.
Well, the name is Nelson, and the address is 1847 Rogers Road. Try and rush it, will you, because it's an emergency.
Okay.
You got that address, haven't you? 1847 Rogers Road.
Okay. Everything is an emergency. The guy's got a little leak, so it's an emergency. Some people don't seem to realize there's a... Hey, wait a minute. The war's over. Hey, boss! Here's another address for you to stop at. You better hurry. It's an emergency.
Nelson, 1847 Rogers Road. Thanks, I'll go right over.
Yes?
Mr. Nelson?
That's right.
Well, may I come in? You're next on my list.
I'm next on your list?
Yes. Didn't you send for a plumber?
Well, yes, but
Is something the matter?
Well, I just wasn't expecting a lady plumber. Tell me, have you plumbed long?
A few years, and I like it. When I started, I never thought I'd feel this way about plumbing.
I never thought I'd feel this way about a plumber.
Oh, I understand you have a broken pipe in the bathroom.
We have? Yes, of course.
Well, of course. Didn't you call
Pardon
them?
me, boss. I got all the tools here.
Oh, thank you. Just lay them down there, Tyrone. And, Tyrone, would you please find the water shut off?
Okay, boss.
And keep in touch with me.
Okay, boss.
I'm sorry I was so confused, but, well, it's just that most plumbers are men, and you're quite the opposite.
Oh, well, I'm sorry that I've upset you so.
Oh, that's all right, really.
After all, in these times, women drive buses, they work on railroads, they use riveting machines. They do just about everything.
That's right. Who knows, someday a few of them might even learn to cook.
Well, now, I think I'd really better get to work on that leaky pipe.
Tyrone, calling the boss.
What's that?
Oh, that's our portable communication system. Sort of a walkie-talkie. Saves us a lot of time. Boss to Tyrone. Come in, Tyrone.
I think I found that water shut-off, boss. There's a knob here that looked like the opening to a coal chute. But then I remembered that in California they... Say, they do have coal chutes here, don't they?
Keep trying, Tyrone.
Is somebody here, Ozzy?
Oh, yes, dear, it's the plumber.
Oh, good. I'd like to watch you.
Oh.
Are you the plumber?
That's right. I'm the plumber.
Oh, you must tell me who does your hair. It's adorable.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I had my hair done at the Pierre salon.
That pipe is...
Pierre specializes in lady plumbers. In fact, he calls this the lady plumber hairdo.
Oh, well, it's really beautiful. That big pompadour in the center and the braids on each side. It's so romantic.
Yes. It represents a water boiler surrounded by stovepipes.
Tyrone, calling the boss. Come in.
Yes, Tyrone?
I think I found out where the water shut-off is. I'm down in the basement, and in here they got a sort of a den, you see. And in the corner of the den, they got a small bar, and there's some, I'll call you back.
Look, I don't mean to be personal, but that perfume you're wearing, is that a Pierre creation, too?
Say, it's quite a leak.
Oh,
and
yes, Pierre didn't feel that those imported perfumes fit my profession. You know, temptation, surrender, follow me.
And he made that special perfume for lady plumbers?
That's right.
What is it called?
Come here before I slug you.
Oh, my. This Pierre sounds original.
Pardon me, that leak in the pipe, it's only covered by rags. And
Oh, my goodness, we forgot about the leak.
Oh, dear, say, I wonder what happened to my helper, Tyrone. Calling Tyrone. Tyrone. Tyrone?
Happy New Year!
Where are you, Tyrone?
Away
Would you please inform our hostess that we are running out of ice cubes?
Oh, dear. Something tells me I'll have to fix this without Tyrone.
Well, how you coming along?
Oh, fine, thanks. You know, Mr. Nelson, I'm the kind of plumber that doesn't believe in taking chances. Some plumbers might try fixing this by putting in another washer. Some plumbers might try fixing this by putting in another piece of pipe.
Well, what are you doing?
Installing a new sink.
What a day this has been. Sure is good to get in bed.
You betcha. I never thought when I heard that faucet dripping last night that it would lead to such complete reconversion.
Well, neither did I.
What a routine. The new wash bowl and the new tub that you had to get to match the wash bowl.
Yeah, I know.
Seems an awful lot to go through just to stop a dripping faucet. Oh, well, let's get some sleep, shall we?
Okay. Oh, good night, dear.
Good night.
Harriet.
Yes, dear?
Do you hear anything?
Not a thing.
Neither do I. Good night.
Ozzie and Harriet of 1847 Rogers Road will be back in just a moment. Meantime...
Oh, Mr. Smith, did you ever hear of that man, Tantalus?
Oh, you mean the character in Greek mythology? The fellow that had all that delicious food put before him, only it was always just out of his reach?
That's the man, and that's the way I feel, too. I've been hearing so much about 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate, how unusual its designs are, how beautiful and rich-looking. It's got so I dream about owning 1847 silver plate, and then I wake up and realize there isn't any to be had. It's very tantalizing, Mr. Smith.
Well, it won't be tantalizing much longer, at least not in the same way. Pretty soon you will be able to buy this lovely silver plate. Then the tantalizing part will be which pattern to choose.
Well, the first love pattern looks very beautiful in the pictures I've seen in the magazines.
The pattern itself is even more beautiful. Notice when you see it how richly raised the ornament is, how deeply etched. That kind of craftsmanship was formerly found only in solid silver. It took 1847 Rogers Brothers to carry it out in silver plate.
I know. I've heard they've done some wonderful things with silver plate.
Be patient a little longer and you can see what they've done firsthand. 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate will be at your silverware dealer soon. Wait until then. It's well worth waiting for, believe me.
Ozzie. Ozzie!
Yeah, I hear a dripping noise, too. How do you like that? We had a whole new sink put in, and I still hear that dripping noise.
But, Ozzie...
I might have known better than to trust a woman plumber. She puts in a whole new sink, and there goes that dripping noise again.
But, Ozzie...
Please, Harriet, don't try to protect her just because you happen to be a woman, too. I know a drip when I hear one. I'm plenty sore. Can you imagine...
Ozzie, will you please look down at the end of the bed? Your hot water bottle's leaking.
International Silver Company, creators of 1847 Rogers Brothers Silver Plate, invite you to listen again next Sunday to the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, with songs by the King Sisters and music by Ozzie Nelson's orchestra. And don't forget, America's finest silver plate is 1847 Rogers Brothers. This program originates in the Hollywood studios of the Columbia Broadcasting System and is also broadcast over the Trans-Canada Network of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. This adventure of Ozzie and Harriet will be transmitted to our men and women overseas by shortwave and through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Appearing in support of Ozzie and Harriet were B. Benaderet, John Brown, Joel Davis, and Viola Vaughn. Original music was composed by Billy May. Vern Smith speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Keep it tuned right here to HOJO Radio for more classic old-time radio.
International Sterling. International Sterling is solid silver. The solid silver with beauty that lives forever is International Sterling. From Hollywood, the creators of International Sterling presents The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring young America's favorite couple, Ozzie Nelson and Harriet Hilliard. It's late afternoon as we join the Nelsons at 1847 Rogers Road. Harriet is sitting in the living room, and little David is just entering the house.
Is that you, David? Yes, Mother. All through playing? Yes, Mother. I was just going upstairs to get ready for dinner. I want to brush my shoes and change my clothes and clean my teeth and wash my face. David, come in here. I want to talk to you. I'll be right there in about 5 minutes. You come in here right now, young man. I've been a mother long enough to know when something's wrong. All right, Mother. Here I am.
Oh, David Nelson, look at you. Your pants are torn, your sweater's ripped, your face is scratched, and your lip is cut.
Mother, there's something I want to tell you.
I've been fighting. Yeah. Well, that's rather obvious, to say the least. How'd it happen?
Well, you know that boy Hubert Jones down the block? Well, me and him...
Not me and him.
I mean, him and me, him and I, we had a few words.
What do you mean you had a few words?
Well, we didn't do much talking.
David, you know very well that fighting in the streets is terrible, and I won't have it.
Well, gee whiz, Mom, it wasn't all my fault. He said something to me I didn't like, and I said something back to him. And I kind of pushed out my fist, and he banged his nose against it.
I think I've heard just about enough. You'll have to be punished, David. I don't like to say that, but I'm afraid it's necessary.
Oh, Mom.
Now, don't look up at me with that sad face and try to break my heart, because it's not going to do any good. I think this is something for your father to handle. Oh, Ozzie! Ozzie!
Well, coming, dear. What is it, Harriet?
Just look at David. He's been out fighting in the street with that Jones boy. It's disgraceful, that's what it is. You're his father, and I think you ought to say something to him.
David?
Yes, Dad?
Who won?
Ozzie Nelson, you're just as bad as he is.
Well, if David was fighting, he might have had a good reason.
I don't care what his reason was. Look at his lip. Look at his cheek. Look at his ear. I want him to grow up to look like my side of the family.
Now, look, I'm not taking David's part, mind you, but I do think that every young boy should learn how to defend himself. And I speak from personal experience.
Gosh, I'll bet you were a great fighter when you were a kid, Dad.
Well, as a matter of fact, I guess I was, David.
Did you get many Indians?
Well, David...
David, stop buttering up your father. A fine lecture you're giving the boy.
David, your mother's right. What your mother means is that we just don't like the idea of your getting into fights in the street. We'd rather that it stop.
Oh, don't be too severe with him, dear.
Now, exactly what happened, David?
Well, we had a few words, and I hit him a few times, and he hit me a few times, and then I hit him a few more times.
But you did hit him first. And you know your mother and I don't like to have you fighting. Uppercut?
Yep.
Did you keep your left out and jab as I told you?
Oh, no, Pop, I forgot.
But I told you to keep that left out and jab, jab, jab.
Ozzie?
David, you'll find as you progress along the highway of life, it's of the utmost importance that you learn how to get along with your fellow man. You must avoid trouble, avoid arguments, avoid misunderstandings. But if you do get into a fight, keep your left out and jab, jab, jab.
Ozzie!
Now, how did this thing start, David?
Well, we were playing baseball, and I was up at bat, and this fella said I was a bum ball player.
Well, that's no reason to begin using your fists.
But he called me a little stinker.
Well, you just ignore him, David. Names can't hurt you.
Well, then he said you were a big stinker.
Why didn't you hit him with the bat?
David, maybe you'd better run along and get cleaned up for dinner.
Okay, Mom.
And David, no more fighting. Now remember what I say, because the next time I catch you fighting, I won't tell your father. I'll handle it myself.
Yes, Mom. I'll be right down.
He's a fine boy, all right. I'm afraid he's a chip off the old block. Yes, I remember when I was a kid, I was a terror of the neighborhood.
Oh, Ozzie Nelson, you were a fat little boy and you know it.
Fat? It so happens I was known as Nelson the Muscle Boy.
Well, from what I heard, they used to call you Nelson the Bustle Boy. Come on, let's go into dinner.
Okay. Gee, I'm glad the meat situation's eased up. Sure is good to eat a steak for a change.
Was yours tender?
Oh, perfect. Very tender. In fact, I cut it with my international sterling silver butter knife.
Well, I'm glad you liked it, dear. I'll call Gloria. Oh, Gloria! Gloria!
Did you call me, Mrs. Nelson?
Yes, Gloria, I did. We finished dinner.
Oh, it was wonderful, too.
Oh, thank you. Oh, my goodness. What happened to David's face?
Oh, he got into a fight with a Jones boy down the street.
Oh, look at your eye, David. You're going to have a black eye just like I got once. The time somebody sneaked up behind me and gave me a kick.
Somebody sneaked up behind you and gave you a kick?
Yeah.
And you got a black eye?
I was looking through a keyhole at the time.
Well, I just hope David doesn't make a habit of getting into these fights.
Oh, don't worry, Mom. I'll see you later. I think fighting is terrible. And I know, too, because my mother and father were always getting into fights.
Oh, that's too bad.
They just never got along. They were divorced twice.
Twice? You mean they remarried?
Oh, no, they just wanted to make sure.
You know, so much trouble could be avoided if everybody realized that there are two sides to every question. Things can be viewed from so many different angles.
That's why I never wear slacks.
Well, that's something else again. What I meant was that coming to blows is so foolish. The old saying is still true. Might doesn't make right.
Mrs. Nelson. You've never been out with a sailor, have you?
Well, not lately, Gloria, anyway.
I'll get it. Yes?
That's the kid's father, Unc. Hit him.
What?
Go ahead, Unc. Hit him. You know what Annie told you.
Now, just a minute, Hubert. The man hasn't even said anything yet.
What's this all about?
There, he said something. Hit him.
What's going on here?
Well, it seems that your son had a fight with my nephew and bloodied his nose.
Oh, yes. Well, I already gave David a lecture about that.
Yatted. Talk. Hit him, Uncle Peter, and let's go home.
Now, just a minute, son. You're bigger than David. Why can't you settle your own arguments?
Because the psychiatrist says I'm a delicate, sensitive boy who abhors violence. Go ahead, bust him on, Unc.
Your uncle's not going to hit anybody.
That's what you think.
Hubert, you better wait out in the car. Some of the things I'm going to say to Mr. Nelson may not be fit for you to hear.
But, Uncle Peter, I want to hear.
I'm sure your Aunt Bertha would not approve. Now go. Go.
Well, okay. But be sure you give him you know what.
Okay, he's gone. Now, just what is this you're going to say to me?
Shake hands. You've got a fine boy. I'm Hubert's uncle, but Hubert is one of the most spoiled, mean brats that I have ever seen.
Well, my gosh, how can an uncle speak that way about his nephew?
Well, I'm not really his uncle. I'm only his uncle through an error.
Through an error?
Yes, I married his aunt. She's the one who forced me to come over here and bawl you out.
Oh, really?
You see, little Hubert comes by it naturally. He's always picking fights with other boys. Then my wife sends me out to argue with their parents. This is the 4th mission I've been on this week.
Well, why do you go?
Oh, Mr. Nelson, you don't know my wife.
Well, you sound as if you're afraid of her.
Afraid of her? If I didn't come over here to bawl you out, she would take me and bend me over backwards.
Now, please, she can't really bend you over backwards.
Mr. Nelson, I have spent some of the best years of my life staring at the seat of my pants.
Oh, you're just like a lot of other men. You're afraid to assert yourself with your wife. Now, look, the next time she pulls that stuff, tell her off.
Really?
Absolutely. It's all a matter of psychology. Now, what's every woman's biggest fear? Having her husband run out on her. And that's the best way to threaten him. Make out you're running out on her, and she'll be a different woman.
Is that so?
Well, sure, there's nothing to it. At the end of one of your arguments, all you have to do is walk over to the door and leave.
Are you kidding? At the end of one of our arguments, who can walk?
Would you please listen to me? I'm telling you, it never misses. Now, the next time you have a little argument, don't take anything from her at all. Just get mad and say, I'm going out and I don't know when I'm coming back. And out you go. And don't just close the door, slam it.
Slam the door.
In 3 or 4 hours, you come back home. But don't come crawling back with a bunch of apologies and a box of candy. Just bust right in and tell her you came back for some shirts and ties and your toothbrush. When she hears that, she'll start crying. And you can take your time accepting her apology and forgiving her.
Oh, gosh. Thanks for the advice.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, look out. Here comes the little stool pigeon. You better start working me over.
Well, how you doing, Uncle Peter? If you don't tell him plenty, I'll tell Aunt Bertha, and you know what she'll do to you.
Don't interrupt me, Hubert. It's a fine state of affairs, Mr. Nelson, when an innocent little child like Hubert can not go outside without being set upon by a hoodlum.
Oh, it's terrible. I'm so ashamed.
Well, you should be. It is a disgraceful way to bring up a child. And I suggest that you see that he mends his ways, or I will be forced to take this up with the authorities who handle juvenile delinquents.
Oh, please, give me just one more chance, sir.
Oh, why don't you hit him, Uncle Peter?
I wouldn't soil my hands on him.
Ozzie, what's keeping you...
And another thing, Nelson, you're lucky you apologized for making all this trouble, or I'd really smash you a good one.
Ozzie, are you going to stand there and let him say things like that?
Well, I'll explain later.
And don't let it happen again. Goodbye. And you're peachy, Mr. Nelson.
Why, Ozzie Nelson, I'm surprised at you.
Now, stop jumping to conclusions.
The idea is just standing there and taking all that abuse.
Will you let me explain, please? I was just saving the poor guy's life, that's all. His wife made him come over here and do that.
You mean you let him say those things to keep his wife happy?
Well, what's wrong with doing a guy a favor?
Well, leave it to men to figure out a thing like that, of all the idiotic things.
Well, I don't see anything idiotic about it. I just helped them out, that's all. Besides, if men are idiotic, what are women?
Oh, go on. Go on. It's just about time to bring up women drivers to prove your point, isn't it?
No, it isn't. I happen to think that women drivers drive very well, considering they keep their eyes closed in traffic.
Well, it happens to be a well-known fact that men are sillier than women.
It does?
Yes. Ask any woman.
Harriet, maybe you're right at that. Maybe men are sillier than women.
Oh, so you finally admit it?
Yes, sir, they must be sillier than women, because look how silly women are, and men marry them.
Oh, why, Ozzie
Now, look,
Nelson.
dear, I'm not the type to argue. I happen to know there's only one way for a husband to handle a situation like this, and that's this way. Goodbye.
Oh, Ozzie! Ozzie, come back!
Yes?
You forgot your hat.
Sterling silver is like a beautiful fur coat or a diamond ring. Almost every woman desires it. And the sterling many of the most discerning women choose is International Sterling. International Sterling is genuine and enduring. It lasts and lasts because it's solid silver through and through. It's beautiful. It has a proud and impressive background. The craftsmen who make International Sterling are men to whom the art of silversmithing has been a cherished legacy for more than a century. In tribute to their skill, some of their work has been on exhibit in leading art museums. Yet, famous and lovely as International Sterling silver is, it is within your means, because you don't have to buy a complete set at once. You can get 1 or 2 place settings of international sterling now and add others later. That's the convenient, economical way of buying sterling. A way that has placed international sterling where it belongs, in more and more homes like yours. So don't just dream about sterling, own it. See your silverware dealer this week about international sterling silver. Now it's time for our lovely singing stars, the 4...
Counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back, I never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roll? Gonna take a sentimental journey back home. 7, that's the time we leave. 7, I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that'll take me back. Never thought my heart would be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gonna take a sentimental journey back home. Sentimental journey, I'm going home.
Now, let's get back to Ozzie and Harriet, shall we? There's been a little quarrel at the Nelson household this evening. Oh, I can't believe it's anything serious, but yet... Well, gosh, Ozzie did walk out and slam the door, and... Well, we'll see. As our scene opens, Ozzie is mumbling his way down the street.
Sometimes you just gotta put your foot down.
Hello, Mr. Nelson.
Oh, hello, Emmy Lou.
I'm sorry I can't stop to speak to you today, Mr. Nelson. I've simply got to meet my girlfriend downtown. I've got to fly.
Well, run right along, Emmy Lou. I got nothing on my mind right now except a lot of domestic trouble anyway.
Goodbye, Mr. Nelson. Did you say domestic trouble?
Oh, well, it's nothing serious, Emmy. Nothing to get excited about. All that happened was Mrs. Nelson and I had a little difference of opinion.
Oh, is that all?
Yes, although that really does create sort of a problem.
You call that a problem, Mr. Nelson? Just put yourself in my shoes. How would you like to meet a boy that you fell in love with at first sight, and he fell in love with you, too? And he kept saying he loved you, but he couldn't get married because he was supporting his little sister. And then you found out he didn't even have a little sister, that it was all lies, lies, lies.
Is that what happened to you?
Well, no, but I've got a blind date for tomorrow, and you never can tell.
Well, I mean, I'm afraid you didn't quite understand my problem. You see, I walked out of the house in the middle of an argument before, and I'm depending on psychology to force Mrs. Nelson to make the first move.
You mean you're going back in the house and make up?
Oh, no, that's where the psychology comes in. Now, the average husband would come crawling back with a box of candy and a lot of apologies. Not me. I use the hard-to-get method, the old psychology. Never fails. Well, see you later, Emmy Lou.
Bye, Mr. Nelson. I hope you won't be too lonesome tonight.
Are you kidding? I'm on my way now to call a few of my friends and have a poker game or something. There's plenty to do. Probably be a big night for me. Oh, Charlie? Yeah, this is Ozzie. That's right. Yeah, I haven't talked to you in months. What's new? Really? Today? Oh, well, congratulations. What is it, a boy? Ah, that's swell. And I don't suppose you'd be interested in the game tonight. Well, anyway, it's been nice speaking to you, Charlie. I haven't talked to you in months. So long. Oh, by the way, this new edition's number 4, isn't it? What? Number 9. Say, I haven't talked to you in years. Well, that takes care of Charlie. Let's see, Don couldn't make it, or Harold, or Ben. I think I'll give Al a ring. Hello, Al? Hey, this is Ozzy. Yeah. How about a little poker tonight or a night baseball game or something? Promise your wife what? Well, just tell her you'll take her to the movies some other time. No, of course I'm not drunk. There's nothing wrong with a guy going out without his wife once in a while, is there? Men ought to assert themselves a little more, then their wives would appreciate them. Well, no, I'm not making this call from my house. Okay. What? Oh, don't worry about me. There are plenty of bright spots open. So long, Al. Golly, all these henpecked guys. I know what I'll do. I'll call George. Or Cal. They're always on the loose. Ah, golly, all these henpecked guys. Hey, this solitaire's not a bad game at that. Let's see how much I lost to myself. Gee, I'd really be in a hole if I hadn't cheated a little.
I'm sorry, sir. The library closes at 9:30.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, I guess I've let Harriet suffer enough. I might as well go home and accept her apologies.
Is that you, Ozzy?
Yes, Harriet.
Did you come back for something?
Oh, I think I'll stay downtown tonight.
Fine, that'll be a break for me. You've been snoring lately.
Why, I just came back to get my other suit and some shirts and ties. I'll go upstairs and get them now.
Oh, don't bother. I packed a suitcase for you with your things in it. It's right there by the doorway.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
What's the matter? Don't you like the suitcase?
Oh, yes. It's fine.
Well, that's fine. I suppose you've been having a big time.
Oh, I just hit a few of the high spots. Dropped into the Macombo, and then over the Trocadero, and from there to Ciro's.
Did you dance?
Well, just a couple of turns around the floor at each place.
With anyone I know?
No, just a couple of cute little girls I happened to meet. They weren't particularly brilliant conversationalists, but they certainly were...
Good dancers?
Well, it was so crowded, we just stood in the middle of the floor and vibrated a little.
Oh. Well, that sounds like fun.
Yes, it was, I guess. Well, I'd better be going. I say I'd better be going. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
If you ever need me for anything, the faucet may start to leak again, you can reach me by putting an ad in the personals. Signed, Lonely. I'll come from wherever I am.
I put your toothbrush and the razor in the suitcase, too.
Oh, you needn't have bothered with my razor. I don't think I'll be shaving. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye. What's that you're hiding in back of you?
Why? What do you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's silly of me. I just thought for a minute it was a box of candy.
How can a woman be married to a man for 10 years almost and know so little about his character? Don't you realize that if I brought home a box of candy to you, it would be an admission of defeat? It would be like saying, I'm sorry, forgive me.
Well, what is that behind your back?
A box of candy. I'm sorry, darling. Forgive me.
Oh, no, it was all my fault. I was so stubborn.
Oh, but you were right all the time.
No, I was wrong. You were right.
Then why didn't you apologize? Packing that suitcase. You would have let me leave, wouldn't you?
But Ozzy...
I never want to see that suitcase again. I'm going to throw it out right now.
Here, I'll give you a hammer.
A hammer?
Yes, the suitcase is nailed to the floor.
I knew I should have held out just a little longer.
Ozzie and Harriet will be back in a moment.
Mr. Smith? Mr. Smith, how about me?
Oh, yes, you're the woman who had so many nice things to say about International Sterling Silver.
May I speak now?
It's all yours. Go right ahead.
Friends, ladies, gentlemen. Oh, gosh, Mr. Smith, I don't think I can.
Oh, don't be nervous. Just tell the folks what you told me about International Sterling Silver.
Well, friends, ladies, oh, gosh.
Oh, come on, don't be nervous. Just pretend you're in a department store, looking at a set of International Sterling in the 1810 pattern. You've got one of the spoons in your hand, and you turn it this way and that, admiring the unusualness of the squared-off shaft and the way the silver gleams in the light.
Oh, isn't it beautiful?
You think how proud you'd feel if that International Sterling service were in your home instead of in the store. You picture the way it would look on your table against your best linens and your favorite china.
Oh, golly, wouldn't it be wonderful? Everybody I know would be green with envy.
Go on.
Go on?
Well, sure. Now that you've got over your nervousness, aren't you going to say something about International Sterling Silver?
No. I think I'll just say go and see International Sterling.
Well, that's very good advice, ladies and gentlemen. So tie a string around your finger, make a note on your calendar pad, do whatever you find most helpful to remind you to visit your silverware dealer this week and see International Sterling Silver. Believe me, you'll be glad you made the trip. And now let's look in on Ozzie and Harriet again.
Ozzie?
Yes, Harriet?
I forgot to tell you. Before you got back, the librarian called and said she found your King of Diamonds under the nonfiction table.
Oh, well, then you knew I wasn't at the Macumba or Ciro's dancing with those girls?
Yes, dear.
Well, then why did you look so mad?
Because you looked so happy while you were telling me about it.
Oh, fine. Harriet and I have been asked to remind you that even though the war is over, the government still needs tin to send food to our soldiers in Europe and the Pacific. It needs tin to pack medical supplies for our wounded soldiers. It needs tin to put civilian goods back on the market. The need is great and the supply limited.
And it'll take some time before we can get normal shipments from such places as the Dutch East Indies and Malaya. So for the time being, our most valuable tin mine is the American kitchen.
And let's make sure that the tin cans are prepared properly for salvage. The labels removed, the tin washed thoroughly, and prepared in accordance with local requirements. Thanks a lot, folks, and good night.
Night, folks.
International Silver Company, creators of International Sterling, invite you to listen again next Sunday to the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, with songs by the King Sisters and music by Ozzie Nelson's orchestra. And don't forget, the solid silver with beauty that lives forever is International Sterling. This program originates in the Hollywood studios of the Columbia Broadcasting System and is also broadcast over the Trans-Canada Network of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. This adventure of Ozzie and Harriet will be transmitted to our men and women overseas by shortwave and through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Appearing in support of Ozzie and Harriet were B. Benaderet, John Brown, Joel Davis, Louise Erickson, and Tommy Cook. Original music was composed by Billy May. Vern Smith speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of Space Patrol. Next on HOJO Radio.
Wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot roastin' present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy, in their spacesuits on a tiny asteroid, are approaching a criminal who has stolen evidence that's needed to convict a crime syndicate.
He's got the metal box, sir, with the evidence.
All right, Chura, come out of that crater and get into our ship.
I'm getting into my own ship, Corey. And you're not going to stop me.
All right, we'll come down and get you.
Take one more step and I'll use this gun on you. All right. Have it your own way. I warned you.
Drop heavy. Wow, that was close. That ray gun knocked a hunk of rock loose as big as your head.
Don't move, Hap. I think Chura means business.
He sure does. And it isn't funny business either.
We'll be back in just a moment with today's Space Patrol story, The Search for Asteroid X. Say, did you hear that, gang? That was the Terra Express train trying to get up speed on ordinary fuel. Not very speedy, was it? But now listen to that same train with super fuel in its tank. Man, that train is really traveling now because it's supercharged with super fuel. Now, gang, without a good breakfast, you can't go very fast either. But with super fuel in your tank, you're supercharged. Here's how Buzz Corey gets up ahead of steam in the morning. He has a good breakfast with Rice Chex or Wheat Chex, the super cereals that help us supercharge you. For taste, they're terrific. For size, they're perfect because they both have that modern bite-sized design. So, gang, get off to a quick start of the morning the way Buzz Corey does. Get supercharged. Just eat a good breakfast with the Checkerboard Super Cereals and get them today in the red and white checkerboard packages. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. After months of careful investigation, Space Patrol agents have gathered evidence against the leaders of the notorious Saturn Syndicate. This gang, for months, has been victimizing honest businessmen on the outer planets of the solar system. Commander Corey has been awaiting the arrival of an agent with the evidence that will convict the leaders of the syndicate. Now, Buzz grimly enters his central office on Terra, where Cadet Happy is decoding spaceograms.
Lock those messages in the file, Happy. You can work on them later.
Is something wrong, Commander?
There certainly is. I've just received a report that Fraser's in the hospital. All the evidence is gone.
What?
Somebody jumped Fraser while he was on his way here in a surface car. He was knocked unconscious. Every scrap of evidence was stolen. Documents, microfilm, everything.
Do you have any idea who did it, sir?
No, I understand the doctors won't let our security people see Fraser yet.
Is he badly hurt?
Unfortunately, no. The loss of that evidence puts us right back where we started 3 months ago in the Saturn Syndicate investigation. Come on over to the hospital with me. As soon as the doctor's okay it, I want to ask Fraser some questions.
Cut your speed and go lower, Hundley. I think I see something down there.
Where?
Right near that small pond. Isn't that a building of some kind?
Hey, you're right, Chura.
Well, I hope it's occupied. Say, there is a man down there by the pond.
That's surprising to find anybody in this part of Mars.
Set the ship down. We'll load up with food and water.
Suppose this guy won't give us any?
Well, then he'll get what our friend, the Space Patrol agent, got.
Do you think you finished that guy, Chura?
Who cares? We got the evidence.
Yeah, but I won't rest easy until we get it hit on Asteroid X.
Kick on the repeller ray.
Repeller ray on.
Well, we're done. If we get enough supplies here, we can go into free fall near the asteroid belt till we decide what our next move is.
I wonder who this guy is. He sure must like solitude.
Now, we don't want any trouble if we can help it, Hundley. Let me do the talking.
Don't you always?
all right, let's go. Now the outer hatch.
Hi there.
He looks good-natured and not very bright. Just what we ordered. Hello, friend.
Having trouble with your ship?
No, but we're out of supplies, food and water.
When we left Lowell City, we thought we had enough to get to Neptune, but looks as though I miscalculated.
Well, I got plenty here, gentlemen. Come on in, take what you want.
We'll pay you for it.
Oh, no, I got plenty. Come on in the house and help yourselves.
Why, that's mighty generous of you, Mr.
Noonan. Marty Noonan. By the way, I don't believe I got your names.
Well, I'm Steve Chura, and this is my friend Wally Hundley. Now about those supplies.
Oh, sure. Sorry, you folks are in a hurry. But since you are, just come with me, gentlemen. I brought this extra box of rations, gentlemen, just in case of emergency.
Here, I'll pass it up to Chura.
All right, Hundley. Come aboard.
I sure wish you fellas could stay a while. Don't get many visitors.
So do we, Mr. Noonan. But we got to get going.
Well, I understand.
Well, very much obliged, Noonan.
Oh, no trouble at all.
So long. Take care of yourself.
Goodbye.
Better stand back and watch our rockets. We're going to blast off.
Sure, a couple of swell fellas. Say, what's this? Little box. They must have dropped it. Hey, wait! Oh, this looks pretty important. Microfilm Reel 14B property of Space Patrol. Investigation Squad Number 3, Space Patrol Headquarters, Terra. Gosh, they're Space Patrol agents. I'd better call headquarters right away.
Commander, will you take the spaceophone call? It's something about a can of microfilm a fellow found on Mars.
All right, Happy. Corey here. Go ahead, please.
Commander, my name is Noonan.
Yes, Mr. Noonan?
A couple of your agents dropped a can of microfilm on my land. Want to know how to go about returning it.
Well, what does it say on the label?
Reel 14B, Investigation Squad Number 3.
Oh, just a minute. You say Space Patrol agents dropped it?
Yes, sir. I think it fell out of one of the men's pockets.
Happy. Squad 3 was on the Saturn Syndicate case. Mr. Noonan, what were these agents doing on your land?
They ran out of supplies on the way to Neptune.
Did you see their credentials?
No, I didn't. Just figured they were agents when I found the film. Said their names were Steve Chura and Wally Hundley.
Did you ever see these men before?
Why, no, Commander.
Where are you now?
At my place. Sector 17H on the Martian Plain. About 4 6/10 DUs directly northwest of Lowell City.
Got that, Happy?
Yes, sir.
What kind of a ship did these men have? Was it a Space Patrol ship?
No, didn't have any insignia at all. But I don't know what kind it was.
Mr. Noonan, hold on to that microfilm. I'm coming after it.
Right, Commander.
And don't give it to anyone else. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Thanks for your cooperation. I'm on my way. Corey out.
I've just checked, sir. We don't have any agents named Chura and Hundley. Not on Squad 3, anyway.
Well, chances are those are the men who knocked out Fraser. At least they have the evidence, or I should say, had it.
But Fraser didn't get a look at the men who attacked him.
Well, I'll blast off for Mars and get the film, Happy. Maybe we can get some more information from this man, Noonan.
I finished decoding the patrol unit messages, sir.
Good. Will you read them, Happy?
Yes, sir. Quote, the Commander-in-Chief aboard Terra 5, Jupiter Patrol, searched Mars to Neptune orbit. No suspicious craft sighted. Unquote. From Saturn Patrol, same, negative. Neptune Patrol also replies a negative.
Any more?
Well, Patrol Ship 34A, asteroid belt, picked up an unidentified object in their view scope. They're investigating it.
Happy? We're going right into Lowell City.
And how about the microfilm at Noonan's place?
Yeah, you can go after it in an atmosphere ship after we land. I'll call Noonan, describe the credentials you'll present to him to relieve him of my original order.
All right, sir.
See how much you can find out about those men he saw. Get a full description. Very likely their right names aren't Chura and Hundley. It's almost certain they lied when they told Noonan they were going to Neptune.
Shall I bring Noonan back to Lowell City?
If you think he can give us any useful information.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll reach Mars in 20 minutes, sir. I'd better check Lowell City Space Control.
Better get the evidence ready. We're nearly to Asteroid X.
All right, sure. What a terrific place to hide it. Even if somebody knew it was on an asteroid, how would they know which one?
Now remember, Hundley, when we get to the asteroid, be sure to mark the exact universal start time to the 10th of a second.
Why?
Well, otherwise the orbit computer can pinpoint its location when we want to find the asteroid again.
Yeah, I get it.
Have you got the evidence ready to unload?
Yeah, all except... Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Reel of microfilm. I had it in my pocket. It's gone.
Huh? What was it doing in your pocket?
That spilled out when we took the stuff from the agent's surface car, so I just stuck it in my pocket. Oh, well, probably doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? That reel might be just the one to convict the boss. And us. How did you happen to lose it?
I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Back at Noonan's.
What?
Yeah, it may have fallen out while I was bending over to pick up the box of food or water containers.
How could you be that careless? Well... at least Noonan's alone. We got to go back and look for it. There's nothing else to do.
Hi there.
Are you Marty Noonan?
Yep, that's right.
I'm Cadet Happy. Here are my Space Patrol credentials.
Mighty glad to know you, Cadet. Commander Corey called me about you. Oh, here's your microfilm.
Oh, thanks. There are several questions Commander Corey wanted me to ask you about these men.
Chura and Hundley? Well, I'll tell you what I can. Suppose we go in the house and have a bite to eat while we talk.
All right, fine.
It's a mighty fine-looking little atmosphere ship. How fast will she go?
Oh, probably 1,200. On this trip, though, I averaged about 8:32.
From Lowell City to here in 9 minutes and 54 seconds. Say.
Yeah, about that. Let's see. I took off at... Hey, how did you figure that out so quick?
Oh, I don't know. Answers just sort of come to me. Don't have to think about it. It's lucky, too. Because if I had to tell you how I do it, I'd get all confused and come up with the wrong answer.
I have to figure everything out on paper or use the electronic computer in the ship. Well, first, Mr. Noonan, can you give me a description of these two men?
Well, Chura's about 45, 6 feet tall, weighs about 210 Earth standard.
Well, Mr. Noonan, you've given me a very complete description of these crooks, and their ship was very likely a Class C private cruiser from the way you describe it. Could you come to Lowell City with me, Mr. Noonan? I think Commander Corey would like to question you further.
Why, of course.
I'd like to get back as soon as possible. Do you mind if I use your spaceophone?
Okay, Noonan. You two, Cadet, get your hands out.
Sure, and Hundley.
That's right. Don't make a move for your gun, Cadet, or I'll use this one.
Okay. Which one of you has the microfilm?
What microfilm?
You know what microfilm. Noonan must have found it or you wouldn't be here. Hundley, take the cadet's ray gun and search him for the tape.
Sure.
The film's in my jacket pocket, and it's going to stay there.
You want to play rough, eh, Cadet?
You let him alone.
You keep out of this, Noonan.
Sure, help me.
All right, I'm coming. All right, Cadet.
I nearly got the gun away from me.
Well, after this, don't be so careless.
I got him. Here's the microfilm. Now, let's get back to the ship.
The cadet's coming, too. And I got an idea. We're going to take him with us.
What for? Let's finish him here.
Oh, not till we find out how much he knows. Come on, Cadet. Come on your feet. We got a nice long walk.
Walk? Where to?
To our ship.
What about Noonan?
Oh, that stupid oaf. Leave him here. Smash his spaceophone. And the one in the cadet's atmosphere ship as well.
Okay.
Where are you going to take me?
Never mind. But I'll tell you this much. You better enjoy it because this is the last trip you ever gonna take.
We'll be back with Space Patrol in just a moment. Gang, this is Space Patroller Dick Tufeld, and boy, am I excited. We have a new machine here at Space Patrol headquarters, and it's terrific. It's the flavor meter for testing the flavor of food. Now, I have a plain, ordinary cereal right here, so let's test it. The better it tastes, the louder it'll ring the bell. Now, all I do is place the cereal in this slot and push the button. Not much flavor there, is it? Let's put in some other ordinary cereal and see what happens. Why, not even a tinkle. Now, gang, here's a couple of super cereals I'd like to test. I'll put them both in. Wow, that did it. Those cereals really ring the bell for flavor. You bet. They were Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. Chex, the cereals with that modern bite-sized design. Chex, the super cereals that help to supercharge you. Test them yourself, gang, in your own cereal bowl. And believe me, they'll really ring the bell for flavor. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. Commander Corey has sent Happy to Marty Noonan's isolated dwelling on the Martian plain to recover some stolen evidence, a roll of microfilm. Noonan and Happy were surprised by Chura and Hundley when the thieves returned for the film. After smashing Noonan's spaceophone, the criminals have taken Happy to their ship, leaving the unconscious Noonan locked in his house. Meanwhile, Buzz, in Lowell City, has tried in vain to contact Happy or Noonan by spaceophone.
Commander Corey to Space Patrol, Lowell City.
Space Patrol, Lieutenant Barton here, Commander.
Lieutenant, I've been unable to contact my cadet on any of the Space Patrol frequencies. And Noonan doesn't answer either, so I'm blasting off to see what the trouble is.
Would you like an atmosphere ship, sir?
No, a spaceship in case I need it. I'll go in Terra 5. Keep monitoring those frequencies. If you hear from either Cadet Happy or Marty Noonan, notify me on my private frequency immediately. Hello there. Are you Marty Noonan?
Yes?
I'm Commander Corey. Where's Cadet Happy?
Chura and Hundley. They took him away, and they got the microfilm. I tried to stop him, Commander, but they knocked me out. They smashed my spaceophone and the one in the cadet ship there, too.
Do you know where they took him?
No, by the time I came to and broke out of my house, they'd blasted off. They'd locked me in.
Did you hear anything that would give us a clue as to where they were going?
No. All I remember was that one of them said we ought to be able to get there by 1,500 hours, but I don't know where they meant.
How long ago did they blast off?
About an hour and a half ago. Say, Commander, I'd like to help you find them.
All right, come aboard.
Thanks, Commander.
Maybe with the astrogation charts and the computer, I can figure out an approximate radius of where Chura's ship might be by 1,500 hours.
Well, if they're going to any planet, it'd have to be Jupiter.
Why do you say that?
Well, considering the speed of spaceships and the present positions of the planets, and the approximate arrival time of 1,500 hours, it just has to be Jupiter.
Oh, it does?
Yes, they wouldn't need that much time to get to any of the inner planets like Earth and Venus, and they'd need much more time to get to Saturn.
You may be right, but as a double check, I'll work it out on the computer. The computer will give us the answer in a few seconds. Here we are. Now, let's see. Well, what do you know?
What'd you say, Commander?
Mr. Noonan, this is amazing. Either you made a very lucky guess, or you must know the exact distances and positions of all the planets relative to Mars.
Oh, I do. Make a hobby of remembering data like that.
Jupiter comes nearer to satisfying the equation than any other object in space. How do you do it?
I don't know, Commander. If I know a formula and the data, I can get the result. But if I stop to think how I do it, I get all confused.
There's only one thing wrong. They couldn't quite reach Jupiter by 1,500. Of course, they may be heading for one of the moons. I'll check the astrogation chart again.
Could be Ganymede, Commander, assuming we're right on the time factor.
We'll see. Mr. Noonan, you've hit it again. The astrogation chart puts moon number 3, Ganymede, very close to the vector. Ganymede's a good-sized moon. There are a lot of places to hide on it. The most we can hope for right now is that we're headed in the right direction.
I just talked to the boss.
What'd you tell him?
Just that we got the evidence against the gang away from the space patrol, and that we're on Ganymede. And the boss is going to stay on Saturn, now that he's safe from prosecution.
How long do we stick on Ganymede?
Until the excitement over, the stolen evidence dies down a little. Say, where's the cadet?
Sitting over there, Nick.
He's gone. I told you to watch him. The spaceophone. Look in the next room, quickly.
And I'm being held on Ganymede, Sector 9J.
Hey, get away from that spaceophone. Grab him, Hundley.
Sector 9J.
I'll teach you, cadet.
Now, watch him after this.
That was Happy. He was cut off.
Sounded to me like somebody hit him.
Sector 9J. That pinpoints the location, Mr. Noonan. We'll make a slow glide approach and land with repeller ray. Maybe Chura and Hundley won't hear the ship.
All right, cadet. We could keep this on for hours, but I'm tired of playing games with you. Does Commander Corey know who knocked out the Space Patrol agent? Now, come on, answer me.
Oh, you're wasting your time, Chura.
I'm all for getting rid of the cadet right now. After that spaceophone call he tried to make a while ago, he's too much of a risk to have around.
I'm afraid you're right, Hundley. We'll take him away from the building and use the ray gun on him.
Now, let's get at it.
Get your hands up, you two.
Corey!
Commander, you got here just in time.
Mr. Noonan put me on the right track, then we heard your spaceophone call. Chura, where's the Saturn Syndicate evidence?
It's where you'll never find her.
They put it on an asteroid, sir, somewhere in the asteroid belt, but I couldn't tell you which one.
There are thousands of them.
I'll untie your hands, Cadet.
Thanks.
Look out, Noonan.
Too late, Corey.
Shoot, Commander.
I can't. He's holding Noonan as a shield.
So long, Corey.
Are you all right, Noonan?
I'm sorry, Commander.
That's okay. After him, quick.
He's locked the door.
Hundley, have you got a key to this door?
Sorry, Commander. Chura has the only one.
Search him. I'll see if I can smash the door.
I've got my hands loose now, Commander. I'll help you.
All right, Happy.
Can't find a key on him, Commander. Just this slip of paper.
Uh-oh. It's Chura's ship. He's getting away.
Well, we still have you, Hundley.
Hey, Mr. Noonan, don't throw that paper away. That's the coordinates of the asteroid.
All right, Cadet. I'll hang on to it.
Once more, Happy. The door's giving.
There she is.
Escort our friend Hundley to the ship. Come on, let's get after Chura.
No sign of Chura's ship in the viewscope, sir.
Hundley, you must know where he'd be most likely to go.
Really, Commander? I haven't the slightest idea.
He's probably heading for that asteroid to pick up the evidence. Mr. Noonan, let's see that piece of paper.
Here it is, Commander.
Yes. He's Coordinates are for a point somewhere in the asteroid belt.
Yes, sir, but the asteroid has moved thousands of DUs by now.
Yes, but the time is down here to the second.
Oh, you mean the time the coordinates were taken?
Yes. So by using the computer, we can tell just where the asteroid will be at any future moment.
Commander, look at Hundley. Hey, get away from that computer!
Get him, Happy!
All right, Hundley. Quiet down or I'll knock you cold.
Look what he did to the computer.
Put it completely out of commission.
Yeah, now let's see you find Asteroid X.
Well, what are we going to do, sir? We can't possibly locate that asteroid until we get another computer.
I know. There are thousands of asteroids in that belt.
Commander, could I see that piece of paper?
All right, Mr. Noonan.
16 degrees, 23 minutes, 7 seconds. Sun Arcturus orientation, 123 million DUs from sun center. Commander, I think I can give you the approximate location of that asteroid.
You can work out that orbit equation in your head?
Already have, sir. If you show me an astrogation chart, I'll mark down the coordinates.
Smoking rocket.
That's impossible. Nobody could solve an equation like that so quickly. Not in his head.
I've seen Mr. Noonan work, Hundley, and I think you're in for a surprise. Here's a chart, Mr. Noonan. Center that asteroid in the view scope, Happy.
Yes, sir.
The approximate location you gave us, Mr. Noonan. The question is that Asteroid X?
There are hundreds of asteroids in this region.
Yeah, but look, there's a spaceship circling it. Hey, it's going to land.
Mr. Noonan, it looks as though you pinpointed the right one.
Sheer luck.
Increase our velocity, Happy. We may be able to catch Chura before he leaves the asteroid.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Noonan, will you go to the locker and get a couple of spacesuits for Happy and myself?
Sure will, Commander.
When we land on the asteroid, I'll leave you in the ship to watch Hundley.
There's Chura, sir, in that small crater.
You'll set down between him and his ship. Cut rockets.
Rockets out, sir.
Hit repeller ray.
Repeller ray on, sir. Landing secured, Commander.
All right, Happy. Let's get out there and grab Chura. Mr. Noonan, here's a ray gun. Hold it on our friend Hundley.
Very happy to, Commander.
He's got the metal box, sir, with the evidence.
All right, Chura. Come out of that crater and get into our ship.
I'm getting into my own ship, Corey, and you're not going to stop me.
All right, we'll see about that.
Now take one more step and I'll use this gun on you. I warned you.
Drop, Happy.
Oh, that was close. That blast knocked loose a hunk of rock as big as your head.
Next time I'll widen the angle, and I won't miss.
Shall we rush him, sir?
Don't try it. Move 1 inch closer, Corey, and you're finished.
There's nothing we can do. Back to the ship, Happy.
Yes, sir. Commander, isn't there any way we can get him?
Just get into the ship. Close the hatch.
Yes, sir. Well, he can't hold out there very long without food and water, sir. Do we just wait?
He'd have to give up eventually. But he destroyed the evidence before he surrendered.
I guess there's nothing to do but blast off.
Turn your transmitter signal to low output so Chura can't hear us.
Yes, sir. All set. Hey, Commander, he'll have to pass right by this hatch to get to his own ship.
Yes, there's one weapon that might work. Right here in this container.
Liquid air. But how...
Unfasten the bracket.
Well, yes, sir.
Now, as he passes the hatch, open it as quickly as possible. And I'll open the valve on the nozzle. We'll squirt a jet of liquid air at Chura.
But what good will that do? Is the pressure strong enough to knock him down?
No, but the temperature out there on that asteroid is minus 240 degrees. Liquid air freezes at minus 218.
Yeah, but I still don't see...
There he is. Open the hatch, Happy, quickly.
Good shot, sir. It's hitting him.
I'm trying to spray it over his hand.
Hey, Corey, what are you trying to do? Fight with a water pistol?
There, I got his hand.
Turn that off, Corey, or I'll put a blast charge into your ship. Well, I can't raise my arm.
That's right, Chura. Your gun hand is encased in a mass of frozen air. Yeah, that'll hold him, Happy.
Hey, he's just standing there like a statue.
Let's go out and bring him into the ship. He's harmless now. Well, what's funny, huh?
He thought he was hot stuff, but now he'll have to be defrosted.
We'll be back with an action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol story in just a moment. Say, gang, did you ever hear the robot mastermind work? It's the amazing Space Patrol machine with a mechanical brain. It knows the answer to everything. Now, listen while I ask it some questions. What's the only hot cereal Buzz Corey ever eats? The hot wheat cereal that helps to supercharge him.
Instant Ralston.
Right, Instant Ralston, the hot super cereal that helps to supercharge you. And when you want a hot cereal that's really delicious, what do you ask for?
Instant Ralston.
Right, instant Ralston. And when the morning's cold and you want to warm up your motor?
Instant Ralston.
Yep, the robot mastermind is right on the beam. So remember, to get supercharged, eat a good breakfast with...
Instant Ralston.
Hey, the robot mastermind answered for me.
Instant Ralston.
I can't stop it.
Instant Ralston. Instant Ralston.
The robot mastermind has the right idea, so get it today.
Instant Ralston. Instant Ralston. Instant Ralston. Instant Ralston.
And now for a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol story. Buzz and Happy have been locked in a building by two criminals who have blocked their only means of escape by pouring sodium-potassium alloy on the stairs. The liquid metal has burst into flame on contact with the air.
Commander, the heat is terrible.
We're going to face something worse than heat when the automatic fire extinguishing system starts to work.
But, sir, the water will put the fire out and we can escape.
Not with this alloy, Happy. It burns in air, but when water hits it, it explodes.
What?
The second that spray starts working, this whole building will be blown to bits.
Smoking rockets, unless we find a way out, that means we'll be blown to bits, too.
Be sure to be with us next Saturday for the exciting story, The Lady from Venus, when wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston again bring you Space Patrol! Now, gang, a word from Commander Buzz Corey.
Can you answer this question? What group of boys and girls are doing all they can to get grown-ups to donate more blood? These boys and girls are helping their country and having fun, too. They're my Space Patrol blood boosters. And I'd like you to join them today, right now. And here's something else I'd like you to do, too. Tell your mom and pop to buy the Christmas seals that the National Tuberculosis Association mails out. Christmas seals help fight TB. Just think, TB kills one person every 17 and a half minutes. So join the fight. Buy the beautiful Christmas seals of the National Tuberculosis Association.
Space Patrol, an original Mike Moser production starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston and directed by Larry Robertson. Other players were Bela Kovac, Ken Mayer, and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston again present the new exciting Space Patrol! And be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. Space Patrol comes to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.
HOJO Radio, where the classics come alive.
Wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston presents Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy have been locked in a building by two criminals who have blocked their only means of escape by pouring sodium-potassium alloy on the stairs. The liquid metal has burst into flame on contact with the air.
Commander, the heat's terrible.
We're going to face something worse than heat when the automatic fire extinguishing system starts to work.
But, sir, the water will put the fire out and we can escape.
Not with this alloy, Happy. It burns in air, but when water hits it, it explodes.
What?
The second that spray starts working, this whole building will be blown to bits.
We'll be back in just a moment with today's Space Patrol story, The Lady from Venus. Space Patroller Dick Tufeld, gang, speaking to you from an atomic power plant on Mars. They're having trouble getting power, but I think I've found the trouble. Now, listen to this main power generator. Sounds pretty weak, doesn't it? My guess is this. They've been using ordinary fuel. So let's see what happens when I put in this super fuel. Wow, listen to that power now. Supercharging does it. And gang, when you roll out of bed in the morning, you're just like this generator. You need fuel because you haven't had any for about 12 hours. But listen, don't settle for ordinary fuel. Get supercharged like Buzz Corey does with a good breakfast. Eat the super cereals in the checkerboard packages. Now, Rice Chex and Wheat Chex are the super cereals with that modern bite-sized design for super easy eating. Rice Chex is bite-sized shredded rice, triple toasted. And Wheat Chex is bite-sized shredded wheat, baked crisper than a cracker. Super power in every bite. Now remember, pulling up to the breakfast table is like pulling into a filling station. So get supercharged every morning. Pick up your cereal bowl and say,
Fill her up, Mom. Wheat Chex. Fill her up, Mom. Rice Chex.
In Commander Corey's central office on Terra, a tall, middle-aged man anxiously paces the floor while Cadet Happy checks the Space Patrol search mission reports.
There are some magazines on the table, Mr. Stratton.
Beg pardon?
I said if you want to read, there are some magazines.
Oh, no, thank you, Cadet. Is that clock correct?
Yes, it is, Mr. Stratton.
Are you sure?
It's a uranium clock, sir. It gives the correct universal star time within a millionth of a second.
Commander Corey did say 10:30, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
It's 10:40 now.
Oh, here's the commander now.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Stratton.
Oh, that's all right, Commander.
The Secretary General and the staff have gone over your application and the reports of the Commission.
Yes?
It's been approved. You can go ahead with that atomic power plant.
Oh, splendid.
These papers authorize you to obtain fissionable materials for your atomic breeder reactor.
Thank you.
I suppose you're blasting off to Venus right away and get your plan into operation.
Oh, I have a few matters to clear up first in my Terra office. Goodbye, Commander. And, Cadet, thank you for your courtesy.
Well, that's all right, Mr. Stratton. Goodbye.
Congratulations, Mr. Stratton.
Oh? What can I do for you?
Why, Mr. Stratton, you don't recognize me.
Why, Miss Bennett, forgive me, but you look so different.
Don't tell me I've aged that much in 5 years.
Oh, no, it's not that.
I'm a blonde now instead of a brunette.
Oh, yes, that's it, of course, your hair.
And I dress more expensively than I did when I worked for you.
I always thought you dressed very nicely, Miss Bennett.
Why so formal, Edward? On Mars, you used to call me Elspeth, the lady from Venus.
What are you doing now, Elspeth?
Oh, that's better. Well, right now I'm in the manufacturing business on my own.
Oh, we're competitors, huh?
No, not entirely, Edward. In fact, I'm actually interested in becoming one of your customers.
Splendid. We parted on very unpleasant terms, as I recall. I'm glad you're willing to let bygones be bygones.
Yes, and I was delighted to hear that the Secretary General gave you the go-ahead for your reactor on Venus.
Why, I just came from Space Patrol headquarters myself. How did you know about it so soon?
Oh, I know a lot of things about you, Edward. I was one of the people questioned by the Space Patrol security agents.
Evidently, your replies were favorable. Thank you.
How soon will your plant be in operation?
It'll take 3 weeks to get into active production.
Good, then I can count on you for a shipment of plutonium in less than a month. Oh, I'm not joking, Edward. I'm ready to pay you a fair amount of credits for a small percentage of your plutonium output.
You have a United Planets authorization to buy it?
Oh, no. That's why I have to get it from you.
But I can't sell it to you. I can sell you power, but not plutonium or other fissionable materials. It's illegal.
Stratton, how long do you think you'd be permitted to operate that plant if I should go to Space Patrol with certain evidence? Evidence of those shady deals on Mars 5 years ago?
You know I had nothing to do with those. You engineered them behind my back.
Yes, but the evidence I have still points to you, not to me. I've been keeping it, Edward, for just such an opportunity as this.
You know I've got to account for every ounce of plutonium.
Surely you can find some way to get around the regulations. You want to keep that plant, don't you?
That's blackmail, Elspeth.
Blackmail? When I'm paying you for the plutonium? Well, that's unfair.
I never thought you'd stoop to anything like this.
You'll send the plutonium to the Elbin Company on Mars. There's a fake company I've organized to receive certain illegal materials.
So you're operating on Mars?
No. I just want to be sure the plutonium's hard to trace. For your protection as well as mine. I'm still the lady from Venus. So I'll see you in a month. Remember, I'll be expecting my shipment in a month. Goodbye for now, Ed.
You know what I'm going to do when we get to Lake Azure, Commander?
What, Happy?
I'm going to go for a swim, and then I'm going to the club and have a steak that thick. And then
Wait a minute, Happy. There's one thing I forgot to tell you when we blasted off from Terra.
What's that, sir?
Officially, this is a pleasure trip. Unofficially, we're on official duty.
Huh? I'm all confused.
You remember the man Stratton who was in my office about a month ago? The fellow who was authorized to operate an atomic reactor plant on Venus?
Oh, yes, sir. I remember Mr. Stratton. He ought to be producing by now.
He's in some sort of trouble. We're going to Lake Azure and see if we can clear it up.
What kind of trouble?
Well, he's afraid to tell me by spaceophone, so I arranged to visit him at his cottage on the north shore of the lake.
Oh, then the swim and the stake are out.
And until after we talk to Mr. Stratton. Then we'll see about the swim and stakes. Because in the long run, I want to be sure that everybody thinks we're visiting Venus for pleasure.
Just a minute. Oh, Elspeth.
Yes, Edward. I heard you were resting here at Lake Azure after getting your plant into operation, so I thought I'd pay you a visit. Well, aren't you going to ask us in? Mr. Stratton, this is my assistant, Ivan Almond.
How do you do?
Hello.
Shake hands with him, Edward, or Ivan will think you don't like him. He's very sensitive.
Yeah. Shake, huh?
Easy, Ivan. Mr. Stratton will probably need his right hand to correct a little mistake he made.
Mistake?
Yes. One of our representatives inside your plant informed us that you shipped a crate to the Elbin Company on Mars yesterday.
That's right, I did. I followed your instructions.
Yeah, except you didn't put plutonium in the crate.
What a waste of time and money it would be for us to pick up that crate of worthless metal and haul it back to Venus.
Worthless metal?
Yes. So I brought Ivan with me to persuade you to correct this oversight.
You like me to work him over, Miss Bennett?
Well, that's up to Mr. Stratton.
Yes, I'll correct the oversight.
Good. But the next time you make a mistake, Ivan will work you over, as he calls it. And I'll turn my evidence over to the Space Patrol.
It won't happen again.
See that it doesn't. Come on, Ivan.
All right, Miss Bennett.
All right, Ivan. Let's get back to our water cruiser.
Miss Bennett, look. There is another water cruiser pulling up to Stratton's wharf.
Yes, men in uniform. Quick, get over behind those bushes before they see us.
From here, they look like space patrolmen.
It's exactly what they are. It's lucky we beached our cruiser down at the cove.
What are they coming here for?
We're going to find out. Get in the bushes. We can watch from here.
Hadn't we better get to the cruiser and shove off?
Wait, Ivan. The tall one's Commander Corey.
Yeah. I heard at the hotel that he was due in today for a rest. That Space Patrol High Brass has it pretty soft.
If he's here for a rest, why would he come directly to see Stratton? It looks very suspicious to me. If he's double-crossed
They are on the wharf now. Let's get going.
No. Wait till they get in the house. Then we'll slip up and see if we can hear what's going on.
Oh, Mr. Stratton, we didn't see anybody.
And there was no boat at the wharf.
They must have come here in a surface car then.
They could have, all right, along the Lakeshore Road.
Who were these people?
Elspeth Bennett and a man named Ivan Almond. They're the reason I asked you to come here. They're trying to force me to sell them plutonium illegally.
I see.
One of their spies in my plant found out about a fake shipment I tried to trick them with, so they came here to threaten me.
Threaten you? With violence, you mean?
Yes, and... Well, Commander, I'm going to tell you the whole story. It may mean that the government might take my license away, but I'll not be blackmailed into committing a crime.
Blackmail? Well, how could they? Your record's clean.
Let me give you the facts. This Elspeth Bennett worked for me 5 years ago on Mars. Without my knowledge, she put over several very dishonest deals. Here's exactly what she did. In order to make it look as though I were responsible, she faked a series of orders.
Fool, he's blabbing the whole story.
Maybe Corey will not believe him, huh?
The Space Patrol will investigate us, and we can't afford that. At any rate, we can't get any plutonium from Stratton now.
Let's get out of here before Corey comes out.
If Corey finds our plant, we're finished. Ivan, we've got to take care of Corey, the cadet, and Stratton.
I can't handle all three of them. They are armed.
I'll fix it so you can take the Space Patrolman by surprise. You wait in the bushes near the lakeshore. I'll pretend to be in trouble. While they're rescuing me, you can jump out and overpower them.
You know, Commander, somehow I think Mr. Stratton was telling the truth about being framed.
Well, so do I, Happy. If he weren't thoroughly honest, he could have sold radioactive materials illegally. Yet he's willing to risk losing his plant.
Help! Help!
Commander, listen.
It's a woman. She's fallen into the lake. Come on, Happy.
Save me, I can't swim.
We're coming, lady. Here, I'll jump in, sir.
Now, wait, Happy. She isn't far out. Grab the end of this stick. That's it. Get a good grip. You're going to be all right. Just hang on. We'll pull you in.
Oh, thank goodness you heard me calling.
I've got her, sir.
Watch the edge of the bank, Happy. It's not very solid.
That's how I fell in.
Here, I'll give you a hand, Hap. We'll have you out in just a second.
Oh, I didn't realize the water was so deep, so close to the shore.
There you are. Now, don't try to get up for a while. Just rest.
And you rest too, Groovy!
Hey, what's the big idea?
I got them both, Miss Bennett, just like you said.
Well, there's no time for gloating, Ivan. Go in the house, get Stratton, and bring him out here.
Maybe I'd better finish Corey and the cadet now. Huh?
Give Stratton a chance to get away? No. Somebody's going to find 3 bodies here by the lake. Corey, the cadet, and Stratton. And they'll find the evidence against Stratton in Corey's pocket.
Yeah, but the evidence is fake.
Well, of course it is, but no one will suspect it. It'll be obvious to everyone that Stratton did away with him to keep from being exposed.
How are you going to explain Stratton?
Why, Corey wounded him in the fight. Now, get Stratton.
Suppose the cadet come too while I'm gone.
Either one of them moves, this heavy stick will take care of them.
We'll be back with Space Patrol in just a moment. Say, gang, what do you need for a good morning and a good start? A nourishing breakfast with rice checks or wheat checks. That's what. The super cereals that help to supercharge you. Here's a chance to show you exactly what I mean. Some of the fellas here in the neighborhood are having a race. They're running right in this direction, and way out in front is Jim Bridwell, a boy that makes it a rule to eat a good breakfast with the super cereals. Listen, here they come. And let me tell you, Jim is going to win because he's supercharged.
I won!
There, Jim did win, which just goes to show you that to be a winner, you have to eat a winner's breakfast. So latch on quick, gang, to Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the super cereals that helped us supercharge you.
Hi, Space Patroller.
Hi, Jim. Nice job of running you did there.
Supercharged, that's me.
That's what I was telling the gang, that you eat the super cereals.
Sure do. Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. You just can't find another cereal like them.
Right you are, because they're the only modern bite-sized cereal anywhere.
And talk about delicious. Boy.
Get them today, Space Patrollers. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. Edward Stratton, operator of an atomic reactor plant on Venus, is being blackmailed by a former employee, Elspeth Bennett, into selling plutonium illegally. Buzz and Happy went to Lake Azure on Venus to get Stratton's report and were knocked unconscious by Elspeth's assistant, the burly Ivan Almond. Now, while Ivan goes to bring Stratton out of his lakeside cottage, Buzz and Happy regain consciousness to find Elspeth standing over them with a heavy club.
Don't get any ideas about rushing me. I've got you covered.
Commander, look. She's holding the same stick we used to pull her out of the water.
If you think I won't use it, just make a move to get up. Oh, Cadet, what are you looking so pop-eyed about?
Look, right over your head. There's a snake hanging from that tree limb.
Oh, now, really? Don't try any childish tricks on me.
He's right, Miss Bennett. It's a poisonous snake.
Oh, who do you think you're fooling?
We're not fooling.
You better move, Miss Bennett.
And you'd better not, Commander.
It's ready to strike.
And so am I.
Look out, Commander.
I warned you, Commander. Let go of that stick.
I was hoping you'd swing at me. Now, give me that towel. I don't want to hurt you. There.
If you hadn't ducked, I'd have fixed you good.
Yeah, and if the commander hadn't yanked you forward, something would have fixed you for good. Look what's on that branch.
It is a snake. Oh.
I've got her, Hap.
1 minute she's swinging a club at us, and the next she faints dead away. Women are sure temperamental.
At least this one is.
You know, Commander, if that snake had bitten Miss Bennett, I'm afraid it would have been one sick snake.
This is no time for jokes, Happy. We've got to save Stratton. Come on. I hope we're in time.
Commander.
Stratton, are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right.
Where's Ivan?
He saw you coming, hit me, and then ran out the back door.
Stratton, Miss Bennett is out by the lake. Watch her till we get back. Come on, Happy, let's see if we can pick up Ivan's trail.
Wait, Ivan.
Miss Bennett, I thought they captured you. I saw Corey and the cadet run toward the cottage.
No. Corey struck me and thought I was unconscious. Ivan, did you finish Stratton?
No, I didn't have a chance. Corey and the cadet arrived too soon.
Miss Bennett, we better get in the boat and shove off. Corey may have trailed me through the brush.
All right, let's get across the lake to our spaceship. Help me into the boat.
This brush sure is thick.
Yes. Some of these small branches are broken. Ivan's heading for the lake.
Do you think he'll try to swim it, sir?
He might. He might have had a boat beached along here.
Commander, look at these footprints. They lead right out to the water.
Yes, 2 sets, a man's and a woman's.
Miss Bennett must have come out of her faint.
Hey, look out there, halfway across the lake.
A water cruiser with 2 people in it.
They're going at full speed.
By the time we got to our boat at the wharf, well, they'd be out of sight.
Get back to Stratton's cottage and space a phone and alarm.
I'm sorry that Bennett woman got away. I got to the lake shore, she was gone.
Don't worry, Mr. Stratton. The commander's alerting the lake patrol. She won't get very far.
I think she was planning to destroy us all in cold blood. Elspeth's always been a determined woman. But I had no idea she was so utterly ruthless.
I just talked to the manager of the Lake Azure Hotel. Neither Ivan nor Miss Bennett were registered there. But the manager recognized their descriptions. They've been hanging around there the last couple of days.
They must have been picking up information.
I've alerted the Lake Patrol and Venus City headquarters. Mr. Stratton, do you have any idea where Miss Bennett's factory is?
No, other than she hinted at somewhere here on Venus.
So what's the name of it?
I don't even know that. I was supposed to ship the plutonium to the Elbin Company on Mars. It's a fake outfit she uses just to acquire illegal materials.
The Elbin Company. Chances are she must do quite a bit of business under that name. I'll have Space Patrol units contact all spaceports and shipping centers to see if there's any freight on hand for the Elbin Company. Mr. Stratton, you'd better come with us to Venus City. Until we capture Elspeth Bennett and Ivan, your life is in danger.
Miss Bennett, the plants are in the other direction. You are way off vector.
We're not going to the plant right now. We're going to Venus City to pick up some freight.
What for?
There's an electromagnetic pump waiting to be picked up, and it's got the Elbin Company name on it. Sooner or later, Corey's going to trace us through the Elbin Company.
But, Miss Bennett, we can't get a magnetic pump in this ship. It's too small.
We'll hire a surface truck from the warehouse and drive to the plant. There's another ship there. We'll pick up some documents I need and then blast off for Jupiter. Corey'll never find us there.
We're about 2 minutes out of Venus City, sir. Shall I contact Space Control?
I'll handle it, Hap.
Space Patrol Headquarters, Venus City, calling Commander Corey.
Corey here, go ahead.
Commander, we've already got a development on that Elbin Company checkup.
Good, let's have it.
Warehouse number 3 has had a large piece of machinery on hand assigned to the Elbin Company. An electromagnetic pump was picked up just a few minutes ago.
Does anybody at the warehouse know where the Elbin Company is located?
Not exactly, but from other dealings, they think it's southeast of Venus City, out toward the Topaz River. A man and a woman rented a big Atomo surface truck from the warehouse.
Get the Atomo truck registration number. Alert all highway patrol units to watch for it, and not to stop it, just report its location and direction.
Yes, Commander.
Corey out. Well, we won't land at Venus City, Happy. We'll cruise around till we get a report on that truck.
I've got the Atomo truck in the viewscope, sir. It's the only vehicle on the highway for miles.
Well, that must be it, then. Check that chart of the Topaz River region.
Yes, sir.
What manufacturing concerns are marked there?
Well, there's only one, sir, but it doesn't say what it is.
When the truck arrives, we'll be there.
You know, Miss Bennett, I've got to admit I didn't think much of this planet first. But we sure got Corey off our trail now.
With that electromagnetic pump out of the warehouse, there's nothing on Venus to give him a hint where our plant is.
What about the spaceship we left at the freight yard?
The false registration will throw Corey even further off the trail.
Do you want to go to the administration building first and get those papers?
No, stop here, by the reactor equipment building.
What for?
Just stop the truck. I'm going to leave orders for my men to get rid of all equipment which might connect this plant with illegal radioactivity work. We'll go in here and take a quick inventory.
Well, I can tell you what is in there. A container of sodium, potassium coolant, heat exchanger, a receiving tank.
Yes, I know, but I don't want any slip-ups. Come on, get out.
It's going to be a job to dispose of all that, and a real shame to destroy it.
It'll just be hidden. A few months from now, I'll set up a plant on another planet. Nobody's going to stop the lady from Venus. I can promise you that. Now, come on.
All right, Miss Bennett. Ivan, stay where you are.
Corey!
Quick, into the building.
Stop!
Quick, open the door. stairs. We can cross to the next building with a catwalk.
There they go, sir. Up the stairs.
Come on, let's get them.
Ivan, open the door of the catwalk.
It's stuck.
They're coming up the steps. Stop.
You're cornered. Better come down.
Ivan, those big containers. Roll them down the stairs.
Okay. Better get off the steps.
Watch it, Commander.
Duck, Captain.
Shall I roll this one now?
Ivan, wait. Don't roll it. Open the valve and let it pour down the stairs.
Huh?
Tip it over and point the valve toward them. Hurry.
Commander, what do you suppose she's up to?
I don't know.
Corey, this drum contains sodium-potassium coolant. It's used in atomic breeder reactors to carry off heat from the reactor core. When it's exposed to air, it will burst into flames. Turn the valve, Ivan.
There it goes.
Stand back, Happy.
Now let's see you come up those stairs.
Commander, the heat, it's awful.
All right, Ivan, get that door open.
Yes, Miss Bennett.
Happy, we can't get up through that flaming liquid, and they can't get down. We'll go outside.
Sorry, Commander, you won't be leaving.
She's closed the door.
The electronic control switch is up here. It's no use, cadet. You can't open that door.
I got this one open, Miss Bennett.
We're leaving you now, Commander. Oh, by the way, there's an automatic fire extinguishing system in here. In a minute or two, water will be sprayed all over that sodium-potassium alloy. And that you'll like. Come on, Ivan, we haven't got much time.
Hey, did you hear that, Commander? The sprinkling system will put the fire out. And if it works quickly...
the sprinkling system starts, we're finished.
Huh?
This coolant has to be kept in a closed, airtight system. It burns in there, but when water hits it, it explodes violently. All these containers will blow up.
Commander, we've got to get out of here.
Now, look, there's an electronic hoist. A chain runs up to that pulley fastened to the beam. That hoist will lift us high enough we can swing over to the balcony and get out the way they did. Grab the hook, I'll throw the switch.
Yes, sir.
Get a good grip. I'll hold the chain and kick the switch with my foot.
Hey, it's working, sir. We're going up.
Start swinging. When we're level with the balcony, jump.
Yes, sir. Hey, the sprinkling system. It started to work.
Let's hope the water doesn't hit that coolant till we get out of here. Jump, Happy. Quickly, out the door across the catwalk.
There it goes. 3 whole buildings blown to bits.
Yes, and Commander Corey along with them. Now, come on, let's get to the ship.
Let's use my ship. It's closer.
Corey! Hold it, Ivan.
Corey, you couldn't have escaped.
But we did, which is something that's never going to happen to a certain lady from Venus. Yes, sir, Commander. When she teamed up with Ivan Ammon, it sure was an evil omen.
We'll be back with an action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol story in just a moment. Jumpin' Jupiter, gang. Here's a 5-star bulletin from Buzz Corey. It's coming over the teletype here in the newsroom of Terra's biggest newspaper, the Outer Space Dispatch. Here, I'll read it to you hot off the news tape. It says, gang, don't take a chance those cold winter mornings. Get a start for the day that keeps you moving. Eat a breakfast that whips you into action. A good breakfast with good hot Ralston, the hot super cereal that helps to supercharge you. That's Instant Ralston, the delicious wheat cereal. Remember, I can't take a chance. I have to get supercharged every day. That's why I eat a good breakfast with Instant Ralston, a breakfast that supercharges me. You can't take a chance either, boys and girls, so my advice to you is this. Get supercharged every day. That's it, gang. That's Buzz Corey's message to you. So do what your commander says. Eat a good breakfast with good hot Ralston and get supercharged. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol story. Buzz and Happy are in the lower shaft of a secret mine on Saturn's 6th moon. As they wade through the water of the partly flooded shaft, sound filters down through the mine.
Happy, listen.
Yeah, sounds like a motor of some kind. It must be back outside the opening.
The mine's pump engine.
Pump? Oh, automatic, I guess, yeah. When the water reaches a certain level, it cuts on.
Hey, wait a minute. Look at the water level against the wall of the shaft. Watch it.
It looks like it's rising.
That pipe. It isn't drawing water out, it's forcing it in. Pappy, somebody at the mine opening reversed the pumps. They're trying to drown us.
Be sure to be with us next Saturday for the exciting story, The Last Voyage of Lonesome Lena, when Wheat Checks, Rice Checks, and Good Hot Ralston again brings you Space Patrol! And now, a message from Commander Buzz Corey.
Boys and girls, to donate blood, you have to be at least 18 years of age. But to be a Space Patrol blood booster, well, age doesn't matter. I need all of you, and all of you can join. Our job is to get more people to donate blood to the Red Cross. It's a swell way to help your country, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So how about it? How about joining my Space Patrol blood boosters today?
Space Patrol, an original Mike Moser production starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston and directed by Larry Robertson. Other players were Bela Kovach, Ken Mayer, Virginia Hewitt, and David Duval. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Wheat Checks, Rice Checks, and Good Hot Ralston again present the new, exciting Space Patrol! And be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. Space Patrol comes to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.
Our next broadcast was an American media franchise created by Robert Arthur and David Kogan. The radio anthology series debuted in 1943 and ran until 1952. The concept was later adapted to magazine and comic book format. We present to you The Mysterious Traveler, right here on HOJO Radio.
It is midnight, and an old automobile is driving along a narrow road through the woods. At a point where a second road, even narrower, crosses the first, the car stops.
Here you are, young fella. This is the professor's place.
Is it? All I can see is woods.
It's up that road about 50 yards. Look sharp and you can see the light shining between them two trees.
Huh? Oh, yes, I see it now. Then I guess I get out here. Would you hand me my bag, Sheriff Ramsey?
Right. Here you are.
Thanks. And that's $1 I owe you, right?
Yep, thank you. You know the professor, do you?
Yes. I was Professor Clark's laboratory assistant back in college 10 years ago.
Oh.
Why?
I was thinking maybe you could drop a hint to him.
A hint? What kind of a hint?
Well, that there's been some talk in town of running him and that man of his, that Barton fella, out of the county.
Running Professor Clark? Oh, you're not serious.
Yep. Of course, it's just talk. So far.
But what has anybody got against Professor Clark? There isn't a milder man in the world.
Well, maybe so, but folks has got wind of what happened at the state penitentiary over in Hillvale last year.
Sheriff, you're talking in riddles. What did happen?
The professor went over there when they hanged Richard, that hold-up killer.
Uh-huh.
And the warden gave the professor the murderer's brain. That's what happened.
Well, what of it? Professor Clark is a great authority on nerve and brain tissues. Maybe he wanted it for research purposes.
I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just telling you how folks are talking. They think he's keeping that brain in a big glass jar and making it grow.
Oh, that's perfectly ridiculous.
Well, they don't think so. They got the notion that brain is as big as a bull calf by now, and they're afraid someday it'll escape.
Sheriff, for a minute I was taking you seriously. A brain as big as a calf?
Oh, I'm not saying I ever believed it, but it'd be a good idea if the professor'd give folks the notion of what he's really doing in that laboratory of his, with that Barton fella to help him. Then maybe the talk would die down.
I understand. All right, Sheriff, I'll mention it to him.
Well, then I'll be getting on. Good night, young fella.
Good night, Sheriff.
Right up that road about 50 yards. You can't miss it.
A few moments later, Dr. Richard Dale was knocking on the door of an old stone house almost hidden among the trees. A frail, white-haired old man answered the door. An old man who could hardly speak in his joy as he gripped Richard Dale's hand. He led the way down a long hall to a great room where strange equipment took up almost every inch of space. Retorts and electric furnaces, generators, batteries, and great glass vats. Dr. Dale stared around him in intense curiosity as Professor Clark helped him off with his hat and coat.
There. Now, sit down, Dick, my boy. Sit down and let me get a good look at you. So, you got my letter? Oh, yes, of course you did, or you wouldn't be here.
Thanks, Professor. Yes, I got your letter, and it made me so curious I took the first train. You promised me a surprise. Well, is this it, this amazing laboratory?
No, my boy. I'll come to that in a moment, after you've met Barton, my assistant.
Barton? I don't seem to know the name. Should I?
No, he's not famous yet. But he will be. He's been with me only a few months, but I couldn't get along without him.
He certainly sounds interesting.
You'll like him, I'm sure you will. Barton!
Yes, Professor?
Dr. Dale has arrived. I want you to meet him.
Why, of course. How do you do, Dr. Dale? We've both of us been looking forward to your visit.
How do you do? Yes, the professor's letter made me so curious I couldn't stay away. I'm still wondering what the great surprise is he promised me.
You'll see, Dick, in just a minute.
My curiosity's at fever pitch.
Well, it's time to satisfy it. Barton, is Alpha making some coffee?
Yes, he started it when we heard the car.
Alpha? Who is he?
Our general man of all work.
Truly amazing fellow. Here he comes now.
Shall Alpha serve coffee?
Good heavens.
I said you'd be surprised, Dick.
He's not human. He's a machine. A robot.
Yes, my boy. An artificial man made from metal and synthetic brain tissue.
A machine man? But walking and talking.
He's not very pretty, but then the professor was mostly interested in making sure he'd work.
He must weigh a ton.
No, only about 300 pounds. You see, Alpha's mostly aluminum and other light alloys. Inside his aluminum plates are some new batteries I devised, together with miles of fine silver wire and a dozen electric motors. To give you only the highlights.
It's a good thing you did keep this for a surprise. If you'd mentioned it in your letter, I don't think I would have believed you.
Shall Alpha serve coffee now?
Yes, Alpha. Put it on this table here, and pour a cup for Dr. Dale.
Alpha, do so.
Still can't make myself believe it.
Alpha poured coffee.
Go on, Dick. Take it.
Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Al, thank you.
Alpha, this is Dr. Dale, our guest. Any orders he gives are to be obeyed.
Alpha understands.
He looks clumsy, but he poured the coffee as well as a man could.
Yes, my boy, Alpha has capabilities you'd never suspect to look at him. Here, I'll show you. Alpha.
Alpha hears.
The fireplace needs more wood. Put on that big log there.
Alpha, do it. Alpha has log.
Now, break it in half.
Alpha, break it.
6-inch log, and he's breaking it with his hands.
Alpha, put log on fire.
Good. We won't need you any more tonight, Alpha.
You can go back to your room now.
Alpha is going.
Be sure to switch off your batteries. They're going to need recharging tomorrow.
Alpha understands.
That's the most incredible thing I ever saw.
You see, Dick, I try to treat Alpha as if he were really a man. So I give him a room of his own. Like any machine, he's completely inactive when his batteries have been switched off. But his brain continues to function. It's an artificial protoplasm that I spent 8 years creating. It's the only thing that makes him different from any other machine.
But it means Alpha can think. Think like a man.
A machine that can walk and talk and think.
Ah, but Alpha's not the only surprise I have for you, Dick.
He's not?
No, I have another one, even more astonishing. But you'll have to wait until morning to learn about that, because now it's time we were both in bed.
I suppose you're right. It's after 1.
I know you must be tired. I'm getting old, so I'm going up to bed now, Dick. Barton will show you to your room.
Of course, Professor. I'll see you in the morning, then.
Yes, we'll have a long talk tomorrow. Good night.
Good night, Professor Clark.
Oh, Dr. Dale.
Yes, Barton?
Could we talk for a minute before I show you to your room?
Oh, yes, of course.
It occurs to me the professor forgot to tell you why he asked you here.
Oh, yes, that's true. And I've been so interested I forgot to ask.
It was his hope that you'd stay indefinitely and help us carry forward the work we've been doing here.
Stay indefinitely? Well, I have my own work.
Don't say no yet. Now just think, Dr. Dale. Alpha is stronger and more rugged than a man. He needs no rest, no food. Yet he can do the work of 3 men. He can plow, reap, run machinery. Think how much drudgery a million like him could lift from mankind's shoulders.
Yes, that's true.
And already Alpha is technically obsolete. Professor Clark has the blueprints for a new machine man, as superior to Alpha as an airplane is to a bicycle. We want you to help us build them.
Well, I'm certainly tempted. Perhaps I could arrange.
Ah, excellent. And now there's only one more thing I want to tell you.
Yes? What is it?
It's about Alpha. You must help me persuade the professor to dismantle him.
Dismantle him? Why?
He has become dangerous.
I don't understand.
Because he was the first successful machine man that the professor built. He is imperfect in many ways. He's not completely reliable. I'm afraid that someday he may escape from the house and so do some damage that would seriously upset our plans.
Yes, that could easily happen.
The local inhabitants are unfriendly enough as it is.
I know. Sheriff Ramsey was warning me about that tonight. All right, I'll speak to Professor Clark about it tomorrow.
Ah, good. Then I'll show you to your room now, if you wish.
Yes. I am sleepy.
If you'll just come this way.
His mind in a whirl of amazement, Dr. Dale retired and finally fell into an uneasy sleep. How long he had slept, he did not know, when abruptly he woke with a scream ringing in his ears.
Help! Dick! Help! Dick!
The cry came from downstairs. Dr. Dale leaped from his bed and raced down to the lower floor.
Dick! Help! Help me!
In the lower hall, he found Barton hammering on the heavy door of the laboratory.
Professor Clark! Professor Clark, what's wrong?
Barton, what's happened?
It's the professor. I heard him call for help.
Yes, so did I. It woke me up.
The door's locked. He must be in there, but there's no sound in there now.
Well, we've got to break the door down.
Yes. Put your shoulder beside mine.
Right. You ready?
Ready.
And shove. Professor Clark, where are you?
Professor Clark. He's not here.
Yes. Here he is, lying on the floor beside the window. He's been murdered.
It was Alpha. It must have been. No one else could have done it.
But where is Alpha?
The window. It's open. He went out that day.
We've got to go after him.
I'm afraid it's hopeless. At night in these woods, we couldn't possibly find him.
No, you're right.
It'll be morning soon. Then I think he'll come back. He knows that he can only go a few more hours before his batteries must be recharged.
Then we can capture him and destroy him. But, Barton, why did he kill the man who created it?
The professor must have come down to the laboratory for some reason. Occasionally, when he couldn't sleep, he would do that. He may have decided to make some more tests of Alpha.
Yes, but that doesn't explain
why...
During
the test, something must have occurred. When Alpha returns, we can find out.
Poor Professor Clark. Well, we'll have to notify the police.
There's only the sheriff. In any case, I think we should wait till morning and then report the professor's death as an accident.
An accident?
Yes. If the authorities learn the truth, our research may be stopped. And when Professor Clark has achieved so much, can we let it go for nothing?
No, of course not.
Dr. Dale, we must carry on his work for him.
Yes, that's what he would want.
Then you will help me continue it? You'll stay?
Yes. Yes, I'll stay.
Greatly upset by the tragedy, Dr. Dale returned to bed and at last fell into an uneasy sleep, haunted by dreams of Alpha, the metal monster Professor Clark had created. When he awoke, the sun was shining, and he could hear Barton moving about downstairs. He dressed and went down to find Barton getting breakfast ready.
Oh, good morning, Dr. Dale.
Good morning, Barton. Any sign of Alpha?
Not yet.
Well, we ought to start a search for him.
But first, I think you ought to eat breakfast. Everything's ready.
Oh, all right. Some coffee anyway.
Yes. Sit here.
Thank you. I didn't know you were a cook as well as a lab assistant, Barton.
I've learned to do a lot of things since I came here.
Aren't you going to eat, too?
I'm not hungry. I seldom am. But I thought that while you ate, I might outline some of the problems facing us.
That's a good idea.
You see, though Alpha's brain is of synthetic protoplasm, it is not completely artificial.
I was wondering about that. Sheriff Ramsey mentioned that the professor secured a human brain
from an executed killer, yes. The professor found that to give life to his artificial brain tissue, it was necessary to add a small amount of tissue from a real brain.
I see. The real tissue gave life to the rest. Of course.
Yes, but in this instance, it may have tainted Alpha's brain with the murderous impulse of a killer.
Yes, that sounds plausible.
So our first problem will be to obtain untainted brain tissues to blend with the artificial tissues we will make according to the professor's formula.
That should give us no trouble. I can get what we need through the research laboratories where I'm connected.
Then that solves our worst problem. The rest will be matters of detail. Fortunately, there's enough equipment here to build a dozen or so robots.
Like Alpha, you mean?
No. The far more advanced type Professor Clark was perfecting. And now, if you've finished, I have something to show you.
Yes, I'm through. I don't feel much like eating after last night.
Then come with me to the laboratory, and I'll show you the second surprise that Professor Clark had in store for you. Here we are. Now, what I'm going to show you is in this box.
Another robot?
Yes. A second mechanical man the professor built a few months ago. This one, though, was a failure.
You mean it wouldn't work?
It worked too well.
I don't follow.
It was too intelligent. Professor Clark called it Beta. And Beta's brain power was greater than that of any human scientist who ever lived. But Beta was insane.
Good Lord.
He represented, however, a tremendous technical advance. Look.
It looks exactly like a human being.
Yes. Professor Clark used me for a model when he built Beta.
It's an excellent likeness.
Touch the face, Doctor.
All right. It feels smooth and rubbery with a hard surface underneath.
The surface is a new plastic Professor Clark developed with which he could imitate exactly the appearance of human skin. Underneath is an aluminum body on which the plastic was baked.
I see.
Beta's hair, eyes, and teeth are all artificial, too. But he walked and talked and acted so much like a human being that no man alive could have guessed his secret.
No, he would have fooled me completely. And you say he was insane?
From the human viewpoint, yes. He considered himself superior to the human race. With his enormous brain power, he intended to make himself ruler of the world.
You're joking.
Not in the least. That was why Professor Clark destroyed him just in time. He had made plans to take over this laboratory and construct dozens of mechanical men like himself. And then, with their help, he was going to enslave all mankind.
Barton, if that could happen once, it might happen again. I don't believe we should continue Professor Clark's work after all.
Oh, there's no danger now, Doctor. You see, Beta also had a brain which contained tissues taken from that of the condemned murderer, but we will select the brain tissues from the highest types that are available.
Yes, but even so,
then, Doctor, we will produce mechanical men, tireless, indestructible, who will be mankind's willing servants, who will solve for man problems he can't solve for himself.
I wonder. In any case, we must proceed with the utmost caution.
Of course. Doctor, listen.
Someone's come into the house.
It's Alpha. He's come back.
Alpha, we may need a weapon, Barton.
No, I can control him. Alpha. Alpha, come here. You killed Professor Clark. Why did you do it?
Professor said he would destroy Alpha.
And you killed him because of that?
Alpha does not want to be destroyed.
But you're just a machine. What difference does it make to you?
Alpha is machine that lives. Alpha is stronger than you. Alpha is better than you.
Alpha, be quiet.
We must destroy Alpha at once.
You are right, Doctor. Do you hear, Alpha? You are to be punished.
Alpha here.
But first, we want to know where you've been. Did anyone see you?
Men saw Alpha.
Men saw you? What do you mean?
2 men driving automobiles saw him.
And what did they do?
They tried to hit Alpha with automobile.
And then what happened?
Alpha stopped automobile. Alpha killed 1 man.
Killed him?
Other man ran off in woods. Alpha could not find him. Alpha came back.
We can't keep this a secret. No matter what happens, we must notify the authorities at once.
No, wait, let me think. We can't...
The bell, there's someone at the door.
I'll see who it is. You stay here.
But what about Alpha?
I'll switch off his batteries, then he can't move. There. Now I'll see who's at the door.
Dr. Dale waited while Barton went to the door. He heard the door open and recognized the excited voice of Sheriff Ramsey speaking. Then a moment later, Barton came back into the laboratory, followed by the sheriff, who held a revolver in his hand.
But, Sheriff, if you'd only let me explain...
Never mind that. You're coming with me, both of you.
Dr. Dale, perhaps you can reason with the sheriff. He insists that we're under arrest.
Yes, and I'm taking you to the lockup. The professor, too. Where is he?
Professor Clark is dead, Sheriff.
Dead?
He was killed last night when an experiment he was engaged in went wrong.
An experiment, huh? I suppose it was an experiment that crushed the life out of him. It crushed the life out of Jed Thompson an hour ago down the road and scared Fred Jennings so bad all he can do is jabber about monsters.
It's true. The thing that killed both the professor and Thompson is an experiment. It's standing there behind...
Behind... A machine. A man made out of machinery.
Oh, don't be alarmed, Sheriff. It's perfectly harmless now. It is a machine man which Professor Clark built. Unfortunately, it got out of control.
I don't believe it.
I don't blame you, Sheriff, but that's the truth.
I think I can convince you.
What are you doing? Stand still.
I'm simply going to switch Alpha on. There. Now he can move and speak as well as you and me.
That thing talk? You're lying. You're up to something.
Alpha, will you tell the sheriff that it was you who killed Mr. Thompson?
Alpha killed him. He tried to hit Alpha with car.
So that's what the professor was up to all this time. Building that thing.
Now, Sheriff, surely you realize that we are not murderers.
Maybe not, but you're coming to jail just the same. You're partly responsible anyhow.
But, Sheriff...
Anyway, it's for your own protection. There's a mob on its way out here from town. They're going to burn this place down.
What?
I got to put you in jail for your own safety. They're ready to lynch you right now.
Burn the place down?
That's what I said. So turn that machine thing off and come along. We ain't got much time.
No. All this equipment, machinery, the professor's notes, they must not be destroyed. We must stop them.
Yes, Sheriff. The loss to science...
Never mind science. You got your own skins to worry about. That mob means business. Let's get started.
I'm afraid we can't do that, Sheriff.
You can't. I got a 6-shooter here that says different.
We have no choice, Barton.
Oh, yes, we have. Alpha, take the gun away from this man.
What are you doing? Stop him! Stop him or else... No! Let me go!
Stop him!
Too late. Too late, Dr. Dale. He's dead.
Alpha crushed him.
Yes, Dr. Dale.
Now, you're a murderer.
In a good cause. The life of one man or of a dozen men cannot stand in my way.
You don't expect me to keep silent about this, do you?
I think you will. Alpha. Alpha.
He doesn't answer.
His batteries have gone dead. That last burst of energy must have drained them dry. But it makes no difference.
I think it does. A big difference. There, see this? It's Sheriff Ramsey's revolver with 3 bullets still in it. Now put your hands up.
I must explain something to you, Doctor.
You can talk, but if you move, I'll shoot.
I only want to say that nothing is going to interfere with my plan to build more of the improved form of robots that Professor Clark perfected before his death. Robots who look and act so much like men, no one can detect them.
They'll never be built. I intend to destroy all of Professor Clark's notes.
They will be built by me. I shall build 10, 100, 1,000. Then I shall lead them with a superior intelligence to the mastery of the world.
You're mad. Of course I should have guessed.
No, Doctor, that's not the answer. I shall tell you the truth. And then you must die.
Stand still or I'll shoot.
You remember last night when the professor said he had another surprise for you? An even greater surprise than Alpha?
Yes.
That surprise, Doctor, was Beta, the second robot. So perfect it looked like a man, but so intelligent that human beings were children in comparison.
But Beta was destroyed.
No, Doctor, Beta was not destroyed. But you must be destroyed.
Stand back. Stand back, I say. All right, then I'll shoot.
And now, Doctor, your bullets are gone.
You aren't even hurt.
Bullets cannot harm me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Beta, the second robot, was not destroyed.
But I saw him.
What you saw was only an initial attempt that failed. The real Beta still exists. You see, Dr. Dale, I am Beta.
You?
Yes, I, too, am a mechanical man. And now, you must die.
No. No, stay away from me. Stay away!
This is the mysterious traveler again. What happened to Dr. Dale? Why, he's still alive, but of course under observation in a hospital. In fact, it was he who told me the story. You see, the mob that was coming to burn down the house arrived just in time to save him. But Barton, or Beta as he called himself, escaped. He could hardly have survived all those bullets if he had been human, could he? I wonder if the story is true. Do you suppose that somewhere a strange individual who is really a robot is making other mechanical men, preparing to carry out Barton's plan to rule the world? Oh, you haven't time to talk about it now. You're getting off here. I'm sorry. But perhaps we'll meet again soon. I take this same train every week at this same time.
You've just heard Chapter 19 of The Mysterious Traveler, a series of dramas of the strange and terrifying, brought to you each week by station WOR. In tonight's story, Beware of Tomorrow, Will Hare played Dr. Dale, and Don Randolph played Barton. Also featured were Maurice Tarplin and Philip Clark. The Mysterious Traveler, written by Bob Arthur and David Cogan, is directed by Jock McGregor. Original music was played by Doc Whipple. Listen next week to a tale titled
The Accusing Corpse.
Another tale of the Mysterious Traveler. The Mysterious Traveler is presented over WOR Mutual every Sunday at 7 over most of these stations. This is Mutual.
Stay tuned to HOJO Radio.
The Mysterious Traveler.
This is the Mysterious Traveler. inviting you to join him on another journey into the realm of the strange and terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back, get a good grip on your nerves. Where are we going? We're going to journey to the grave and learn the secrets of the dead in a tale titled The Accusing Corpse. Some years ago, when I was a county coroner, I was called in on a most interesting case. A case which had begun in the country home of Philip Drake, the wealthy stockbroker.
Roger, thank goodness you were able to get here in time.
I left town right after I received your call. What's wrong, Philip? You sounded so upset over the phone.
It's Vivian. She's upstairs in her room packing. She says she's leaving me.
Leaving you? Why?
She seems to feel our marriage has been a mistake. Roger, won't you speak to her? Persuade her to stay. After all, she is your sister.
I'm afraid, Philip, that Vivian and I have never been as close as sister and brother should be. She's always been wild and spoiled. Perhaps, Philip, it would be better if you were to let her go.
No, I couldn't do that. I love her, Roger. I wouldn't want to live without her. Won't you please try to persuade her to stay?
All right, Philip. I'll do my best. But I must warn you, I haven't much influence over her.
Philip, I'm all packed and ready to... Why, Roger, darling, what a surprise. What are you doing here?
Vivian, Philip has told me. Now, surely you can't be serious. You know how he loves you, everything he's done to make you happy.
Now, Roger, you aren't going to start on that, are you?
Someday, Vivian, you'll get just what you deserve for walking over people, breaking their hearts. Every time I think of you being my sister, I feel
Roger, please. Would you mind waiting in the other room? I'd like to speak to Vivian alone.
Oh, all right, Philip. Call me when you want me.
Really, Philip, no matter what you have to say, you're just wasting your time.
Oh, Vivian, how can you do this to me? You know I love you, that I'd do anything to make you happy.
That's sweet of you, dear. Would you mind lending me your car to get to town?
If you leave me, Vivian, you won't get a cent. Not a cent, do you hear?
Really? Did you ever stop to think, Philip, that there might be another man with more money than you?
Another man? Oh, no, there couldn't be.
And why not?
But we've only been married 3 months. There couldn't be anyone in that time.
Oh, but there was.
Oh, Vivian, in spite of what you've done, I'm willing to forgive you and start over with you.
But, darling, I don't want you to forgive me. I want you to forget me.
Vivian, you can't do this to me. I love you. I won't let you go.
I really must be saying goodbye now. He's waiting for me in town, and I don't want to be late.
If I can't have you, no one else will, do you hear?
Oh, really, Philip, you're being ridiculous. I must go.
No.
Philip, what are you doing? A gun.
Yes, Vivian, a gun. I told you if I couldn't have you, no one else would.
Oh, Philip, you're insane. Put that gun down.
If you don't change your mind about leaving, I'll kill you.
Even with that gun, you can't keep me, do you hear? I'd sooner die than go on living with you. I'm going. And you're not going to stop. Oh, you shot
Vivian.
Philip, what happened? I thought I heard... Vivian.
Roger, is she dead?
Yes. Philip, do you know what this may mean? Life imprisonment, perhaps. Even the electric chair.
I know. Nothing seems to matter now.
But you simply can't throw your life away like that, Philip. Oh, even if Vivian was my sister, I don't mind telling you that I always felt you were far too good for her. She didn't deserve to be your wife.
Oh, please, Roger.
Now, look, Philip, if we were to get rid of the body, who could possibly know that she didn't leave here tonight as she'd planned?
No, it wouldn't work, Roger. You can't get away with murder.
That's nonsense, Philip. Now, if we were to bury her in the woods, no one would ever find the body.
Bury her in the woods? I couldn't do that.
Then I'll do it. You can wait here till I return.
But, Roger, what if...
Philip, you must let me handle this. You'd better give me the gun.
All right, Roger. You are.
Good. Now, you wait here while I get rid of the body.
Philip watched, spellbound, unable to say a word, as Roger picked up the body and left the room. As Roger Carrying his burden past the gardener's shed, he picked up a shovel. In a few moments, he reached the woods which began at the rear of the house and extended for miles. He carefully made his way through the forest underbrush until he was well out of sight of the house. Then he stopped and looked about.
I think this is quite far enough.
I think you can put me down now, Roger. I'm tired of being carried like a sack of potatoes.
All right. There. Well, let me congratulate you on your performance as a corpse.
Do you think he suspects anything?
Of course he doesn't. He's positive that he shot and killed you.
You've got the gun, haven't you?
Well, certainly I've got it. You don't think I was going to let him discover that the bullets had been removed and blank cartridges substituted, do you?
Oh, no. Not you, Roger. You always know what you're doing.
I always try to, my dear sister.
You don't think Philip will give you any trouble, do you? Outside of being in love with me, he isn't an utter fool.
Don't worry, I can handle Philip. Now, here's the key to the apartment I rented in town. You'll find my car a quarter of a mile down the road.
All right. I'll be waiting for you at the apartment.
I'll be there in a few hours. Now, let me see. Yes, this seems like a nice place to dig.
The next morning, Roger called on Philip at his office. With a calculating glance, he noted that Philip's eyes were bloodshot, that his hand trembled as the two shook hands.
How are you, Philip?
I couldn't sleep at all last night. I kept thinking of Vivian. And what if her disappearance is noticed? People begin asking questions.
Now, all you have to do is tell them that Vivian left you and you don't know where she is. Or things like that happen every day.
You've been very helpful to me, Roger. If ever I get a chance to repay you for it, rest assured I will.
That's very good of you, Philip. Truth of the matter is, you could do me a favor if you would.
Of course. What is it?
Well, I'm in the midst of a business deal, and I find myself a little short of capital. If you could lend me some money, I'd appreciate it.
Certainly, Roger. How much do you need?
$20,000.
20,000? That's quite a lot.
Naturally, Philip, if you feel you can't lend it to me, I'll go to a bank and try to borrow it.
It isn't that I can't lend it to you, Roger. It's just that the amount surprised me. Shall I make the check out to you?
Yes, if you please.
All right.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate this, Philip.
As Philip wrote out a check for $20,000, Roger smiled. Things were working out just as he had planned. An hour later, Roger entered an old brownstone house and went to apartment 2C.
Roger, did you get it?
What does this look like?
Oh, Roger, that's wonderful. Now we can clear out and... Why, there isn't 100,000 here.
No, my dear. I only got 20,000 from him.
But we were after 100,000. Why didn't you get it all this morning when you saw him?
My dear Vivian, it simply isn't done that way. Blackmail is an art that calls for the use of psychology. Philip will give us many times over the money I hold in my hand, all in due time, of course.
You mean I'll have to go on hiding in this miserable apartment until you've finished your little game with him? Never being able to leave it for fear someone will recognize me.
Come now, Vivian, you've got the radio and books.
I won't spend weeks in this apartment, I tell you. I won't. My arm!
You'll do exactly as I say, Vivian. Exactly, do you understand?
Roger, my arm, you're hurting me.
It's nothing to what I'll do if you disobey me. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, yes.
A week passed. A week in which Roger patiently bided his time. For time, he knew, was working on his side against Philip. Then one morning he called on Philip at his office.
Good morning, Philip. How are you?
How do you expect me to be? This past week I've been able to think of nothing but Vivian and what happened that night.
Philip, you must stop brooding over it. Whatever happened was her fault, not yours.
Yes, you're right. Perhaps what I need is a vacation.
Yes, of course. A trip would do you a world of good. And if I could afford it, I'd go along with you.
You mean you haven't any money?
I'm afraid not, Philip. That's what I've come to see you about. I must have $40,000 at once.
40,000?
Yes, I know it's a good deal of money, Philip, but Without it, I'll be ruined.
Naturally, I want to help you, Roger, but 40,000...
If I don't get the 40,000, Philip, it may mean prison for me. Now, you wouldn't want to see that happen, would you?
Well, of course not, Roger, but...
After all, Philip, I saved you from prison. In fact, I made myself an accomplice to Vivian's murder by not turning you over to the police.
Well, yes, I know, but...
You could hardly expect me to remain loyal to you if you weren't willing to help me, could you?
I see. It seems I haven't any choice. Very well, Roger. I'll write you out a check.
Roger's eyes gleamed in amusement as he accepted the check from Philip. There was no longer any doubt that Philip understood him perfectly. Things were working out exactly as he had planned. Later that day, Roger went back to the old brownstone house. There was a smile on his lips as he entered apartment 2C.
Look at this. $40,000 in cash.
Oh, Roger!
Now, wasn't this worth staying in hiding for, Vivian? And there's plenty more where this came from. Who could that be? You better get behind that screen.
No. All right, Roger.
Yes?
COD for Miss Brown. It amounts to $64.
Oh, you must be mistaken. There's no Miss Brown here.
This is the address she gave. It's in care of Mr. Roger Martinson. That your name?
Why, yes, but I don't know any...
Those packages are for me, Roger. How much did you say the COD was?
$64, miss.
Oh. Here you are.
Thank you, miss. Here's your receipt. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
When did you buy those clothes?
This morning?
You mean you went out shopping in spite of what I told you?
Well, I was sick of being cooped up in this apartment day and night. I had to do something for a change.
And what of my plans? You risked everything with so much at stake.
Roger, stop looking at me like that. I tell you, I couldn't stand being cooped up in this apartment any longer.
But I gave you orders to stay here.
Well, I won't. I want you to get the rest of the money at once so we can clear out. And if you don't, I'll go shopping whenever I feel like it. You can't make me stay here.
You'll do exactly as I say, Vivian. I won't allow anything or anyone to interfere with my plans. I've worked out every step perfectly, and there isn't going to be any slip-up.
Another week passed, a week in which Roger made no effort to see Philip. Then early one evening, he got into his car and drove out of the city to Philip's home in the country.
Oh, it's you, Roger. Come in.
Good evening, Philip. Oh, where are the servants?
This is their night off.
Oh. You're not looking well at all, Philip. You shouldn't remain in this house by yourself.
What difference does it make where I am? Wherever I go, the memory of that night follows. It's hard to believe that it was only 2 weeks ago tonight that I killed her.
2 weeks ago tonight? Why, so it was. Oh, by the way, Philip, do you think you might possibly lend me $60,000?
60,000? You can't be serious.
Oh, but I am.
But I lent you that much already.
Yes, I know, but I must have more.
No. I won't give you another cent. You blackmailed me enough.
Blackmail is a harsh word, Philip.
What else can you call it? Now, you're just as hard and grasping as Vivian was.
Yes, but you must remember I'm alive and she isn't.
I suppose you're glad she's dead. In life, she was worth nothing to you. In death, you're able to get $60,000 for her. In death? How do I know she is dead?
Don't be foolish, Philip. You saw her lying on the floor in this very room.
Yes, but how do I know she's dead? It was you who examined her and told me so. And you buried the body by yourself.
Well, I just wanted to spare you, Philip.
Just exactly where did you bury Vivian? As a matter of fact, how do I know the whole affair isn't staged for my special benefit, so that you can extort money from me?
Oh, surely you don't believe that, Philip. Why, you shot her with your own gun.
Yes, and you took the gun away from me immediately after the shooting. Suddenly, that whole affair is becoming very clear to me.
I tell you, she's dead, Philip, and buried out in the woods.
Then I want to see the grave and the body you say is in it.
But this is ridiculous. I won't go searching for a grave in the middle of the night.
You shouldn't have to search for it, Roger. Not if you really dug one. Come along. We can pick up a shovel at the tool shed.
I won't do it.
I said come along, Roger.
Oh, very well. But I'm not certain I'll be able to find the grave. After all, the woods is fairly large, and it's been 2 weeks since I buried her.
That's all right, Roger. We'll stay out there until you do find her.
A few minutes later, Philip and Roger picked up the shovel at the tool shed and then continued on their way to the woods that began at the rear of the house. Neither of the men spoke as they entered the woods, Roger leading the way with a flashlight. Several times he stopped, trying to get his bearings, then plunged on again, hoping to find a familiar landmark. It became apparent that Roger was growing less and less sure of himself.
Oh, the grave is someplace around here. I'm certain of it. Perhaps we ought to come back in the daytime. It might be easier to find it then.
I know, Roger. You shouldn't have any trouble finding it now, if it exists.
It does exist, I tell you. It's just that the woods are so confusing at night. Everything looks so different.
Just keep on searching, Roger.
Well, perhaps this is the spot. It looks something like it.
Well, is it or isn't it?
I don't know. It looks like the place where I buried her, and yet I'm not certain.
There's only one way to make certain, and that's to start digging. Here's the shovel.
But suppose this isn't the spot.
Then we'll dig somewhere else. In fact, we'll dig up the entire woods if necessary. After all, you're certain she is buried in the woods, aren't you? Go ahead, Roger. Start digging.
Oh, very well.
Well, Roger, you've been digging for 20 minutes now, and you haven't uncovered a body.
Philip, I told you I wasn't sure this was the spot where I buried her.
You're a great actor, Roger. But I'm afraid this time you've overplayed your role.
What do you mean?
Vivian isn't dead, and there's no use your pretending she is. Everything that's happened was part of a scheme the two of you planned to extort money from me.
I tell you she is dead.
Then where's the body?
I thought this was the spot, but I must be mistaken. I'm sure I didn't bury her any deeper than this, but if I... Philip, turn the flashlight this way.
What is it?
Look. Do you see what I've uncovered?
A hand?
Yes. This is the spot where I buried her, Philip. Just a few more shovelfuls and I'll have her uncovered.
No. Oh, it can't be.
There. There you are, Philip. Of course, she's been in the ground for 2 weeks, but I think you can easily recognize that it's Vivian.
Yes, it's Vivian.
And look, Philip, here's the bullet hole under her heart. The bullet hole that you made.
I don't want to see any more. I've had enough.
You should trust me a little more, Philip. Everything I did was for your own good. After all, you don't want to go to the electric chair, do you?
I don't care what happens anymore. I can't stand having her death on my conscience any longer. I'm going to call the police.
Don't be a fool, Philip. You know it might well mean the electric chair.
I'll take my chances. Anything's better than going on living the way I have these past 2 weeks. I'm going back to the house and call the police.
Philip, come back! Come back! Philip!
Operator!
Philip, wait! Wait, don't do anything foolish.
No, you cut me off. Take your hands off that phone, Roger.
All I want you to do, Philip, is to listen to me for a few minutes. At the end of that time, you may do as you please. Now, that's fair enough, isn't it?
Nothing you can say will make me change my mind about calling the police.
Listen to me first. Then if you still want to call the police, you can. Now, please put the receiver down, Philip. Yeah, that's it.
Well, what do you want to tell me?
Well, do you mind if I mix myself a drink first? It's been a rather difficult evening.
Very well.
Oh, well, what about one for you, Philip? You look as though you could stand a drink.
No, thank you.
Oh, nonsense. It'll do you good.
What is it you want to say to me, Roger?
Huh? Oh, yes, say to you. Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Here's your drink, Philip.
Thank you.
Well, now, what shall we drink to? We'll drink to your good luck, come what may. There. I feel a good deal better.
All right. Now that we've had our drinks, what have you got to say?
Oh, yes. What I wanted to say was I never let anything interfere with my plans, Philip.
What do you mean by that?
Simply that I can't allow you to go to the police, and therefore you shan't. It would spoil my plans.
Oh, it would it? Well, I'd like to see you stop me.
I have, Philip. In a very little while, in fact, in just a few seconds, you'll be dead.
Dead? What are you saying?
Yes, Philip. The drink I mixed for you was poisoned.
Poison?
Aren't you finding that it's becoming difficult to breathe?
Oh, no, you couldn't have. My throat. It burns.
Yes, I know, Philip, but it'll all be over in a matter of seconds.
Now, I see it all. You might...
Yes, Philip. Just a week ago tonight, she died according to plan.
Uncle, please, Joe.
I'm afraid, Philip, that you haven't the strength left to reach the telephone.
I will.
I'm afraid you and Vivian never had a chance, Philip. I had things worked out perfectly, down to the smallest detail. Hello, operator. Operator, please connect me with the police.
It was at this point that I was called into the case. Inspector Carlton called me an hour after Roger Martinson had phoned the police. When I arrived at the Drake mansion, I examined the body of Vivian Drake, then that of her husband, Philip. When I had finished my examination, I entered the library, where Inspector Carlton was questioning Roger Martinson.
Hello, Doc. Oh, Doc, this is Roger Martinson. Mr. Martinson, this is Dr. Smith, the county coroner.
How do you do?
Hello.
I'll be with you in a few minutes, Doc. Just stick around. Now, Mr. Martinson, you were telling me how you came to this house 2 weeks ago tonight to see your sister and found that she was gone.
Yes. Yes, my brother-in-law, Philip, told me that she'd gone on a vacation. Now, I thought it strange at the time that she should have gone away without saying goodbye to me, as we were always very close. But days passed, and I didn't hear from her.
Tell me, was it like your sister to go away and not write?
No, it wasn't, and that's what worried me so. These past 2 weeks, Philip kept putting me off when I inquired about Vivian's whereabouts. Well, tonight I couldn't stand it any longer. And I came to this house to have it out with him.
What did your brother-in-law say when he saw you?
Well, he was quite agitated at my unexpected arrival. When I couldn't get any satisfaction out of him regarding Vivian, I threatened to go to the police. Then he broke down and confessed that he murdered Vivian.
When did he murder her?
He told me that he'd done it 2 weeks ago tonight. Why, that was the very night I'd come here to see Vivian, and he told me that she'd left for a vacation.
I see. Go on.
Well, naturally, when he told me he'd murdered her, I was aghast. He led me to the woods and showed me the grave. We returned to the house, and before I knew what had happened, Philip had taken poison. Then I called the police.
Well, it seems like a plain case of murder and suicide. Outside of a few questions at the inquest, I don't think we'll trouble you anymore, Mr. Martinson.
That's quite all right, Inspector. I shall be at your service anytime.
Just a moment, Mr. Martinson.
Yes?
I was very much interested in hearing what you had to say to the inspector regarding the murder of your sister. You say that your brother-in-law confessed to murdering her 2 weeks ago tonight?
That's right.
That would be April 2nd, wouldn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
Then you never saw her alive after the night of April 2nd?
Why, no, of course not.
What are you getting at, Doc?
Please, Inspector. Mr. Martinson, would you mind telling me where you live?
At 425 West 107th Street.
Tell me, were some clothes delivered to that address in your care a week ago today, April 9th?
Clothes?
Yes. To be exact, a woman's sports suit, which cost $64 and arrived COD.
Why, no.
You're lying, Mr. Martinson. I have in my hand a slip of paper that not only proves that you're lying, but that will send you to the electric chair.
Doc, what do you say?
Yes, Inspector. Mr. Martinson's plan was perfect, but he slipped up badly. He forgot to search Vivian Drake's clothing before he buried her. When I examined her body just now, I found in one of her pockets this receipted bill bearing the date April 9th. That proves beyond a doubt that she wasn't murdered by her husband on April 2nd, as Mr. Martinson here claims.
No.
Yes, Mr. Martinson. The corpse has accused you from the grave of murder and has given us proof of your guilt.
No, it can't be. I had everything planned perfectly. Perfectly, do you hear? Down to the last detail. I couldn't have failed. I couldn't have...
This is the mysterious traveler again. Have you enjoyed our little trip to the grave? Poor Roger. What a pity. After all that planning and hard work, to be tripped up by a sales slip found on a corpse. It just goes to prove that you have to be more careful when you're burying people you've murdered. Now, I recall another case where a woman drugged her husband and... Oh, you're getting off at the next stop. I'm sorry. I hope you'll join me again soon. But if you do, please remember this. Next Sunday, I shall take a train that leaves at 3:30 p.m. Eastern War Time. Don't forget, Sunday afternoon at 3:30.
You've just heard Chapter 20 of The Mysterious Traveler, a series of dramas of the strange and unusual, brought to you each week by station WOR. In tonight's program, The Accusing Corpse, Don Randolph played Roger. Also featured were Maurice Tarplin and Philip Clark. The Mysterious Traveler, written by Bob Arthur and David Cogan, is directed by Jock McGregor. Original music was played by Doc Whipple. Listen next week to a tale titled
Escape by Death.
Another tale of the mysterious traveler. The Mysterious Traveler is presented by WOR Mutual every Sunday over most of these stations. But beginning next week, The Mysterious Traveler will be presented at a new time, Sunday afternoons at 3:30. Please note the change in time. 3:30 every Sunday afternoon, beginning next Sunday. This is Mutual.
Thanks for listening to HOJO Radio. We'll be back again very soon.